Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? Come on in here, come on in here, come on in here. Cooper Clips, I see you, player. I see you. Hopefully, y'all can hear me loud and clear. Ice Queen in the house was good. CKRDS, my brother. Mary Wilcox, you already know what's finna go down. Y'all see the topics. Y'all see the title of the show. Who else is in the house was good? Buck, my brother. Listen, man, hey, Buck, you know how we do it, brother. We make our own news. We don't wait for CNN and Fox, brother. Who else in here? Dabara, my brother. Heat the Heathen Stevens was good. Hey, Heat, I'm gonna send you a link in the Discord, man. I just sent you one. Just in case y'all ain't busy, y'all want to jump in. We're going to talk about it. Lunchi, my brother. Craig, the tech guy. Hey, Craig, we can jump on some more Hell Divers, man, after this show. I'm good for the rest of the day. Taryn, what's good, Taryn? Uncompetitive in the house. What's good, player? 47 in the house. J767 was good. Talking about J-Dub up to no good. Big facts, brother. Big facts. Y'all know what time it is, man. I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. But, you know, we're going to make it do what it do. You know, since the console war is officially over, since I've been playing Sea of Thieves and Grounded, and As Dust Falls, and Pentiment, and Hi-Fi Rush on my PS5. Salute to Satya Nadella, Phil Spencer. They knew who were the real gamers in the industry. They knew what it was. They knew what it was. Ghost of New Orleans in the house was good. If you can't hit that like button, y'all know what time it is. We got 26 people in here. More people gonna come in. You know, we've been having a lot of fun with the console wars over the years, and I'm kind of sad to see it go. You know, I can't say that I didn't see it going any other way. Said, what's that? Pasta on your screen? Oh man. Look, that game there on the screen is called the what's the name of that goddamn game? No Rest for the Wicked. It's a pretty good game. It's a pretty good game. Theron say, J-Dub, Phil Spencer gonna give us the whole slate. Pause. Big facts, brother. Big facts. I just can't fathom how these Xbox dudes did not see this going the way that it's going. How did you not know that? Clearly, if you do not support your platform, if you do not support your games, if you do not support the hardware, if you do not support the software, if you not show up for it, what do you think these companies are going to do? I had some people saying, well, Listen, they're gonna spend $100 billion to make games exclusive for us, even though we don't buy the hardware, we don't buy the games, we don't subscribe to the service, and on and on and on. Craig, 7 sound just sound perfect, man. Sound perfect. I'll see you online, brother. Cool. Yeah, this game is coming to PS5. It's an early access game. Only on PC for right now, but it's coming out this year. I don't know if it's going to be next month or the month after, but they haven't given a date, but they said it's definitely going to be launching not too far after the PC version, which just came out yesterday. It is early access, so y'all know what that means. Early access. Sometimes those early access games, they stay in early access for a long time. Sea of Thieves was in early access for like 5 years. You know, and if you're a PC gamer, then you already know what it is. You know, majority of the games over there is early access. They say we'll fix it when we want. Yeah, but a lot of guys assume that Microsoft spending $100 billion was to give them access to all of these games on the Xbox, and they wouldn't have to really do anything. Here's the thing: a lot of these guys, they loaded up with Game Pass, and that shit was like what people had 3, 4. Hey, there we go. Hey, we got some people in here, man. We got some people in here. What's up, my brother Buck? Heat the Heathen Steven. What's good?
What's up, dude?
You're gonna have to fill me in on this shit, because I this is all breaking news to me. What? Well, first of all, well, let's get the self-emulation thing out of the way, just to at least acknowledge what the point in history we are. So that happened, but this whole Xbox Sega.
Yeah.
Like, was there something major that what happened like in the last day?
Well, no, it was the We Bleed Green. They got really upset because they heard a lot of gamers say that Xbox was the new Sega. Xbox was going the way of Sega. Yeah. So that's where that came from.
And they're all upset over that 30 FPS shit. That's what's bringing a lot of these articles out. Like Jez Gordon wrote that one about PlayStation and stuff. Like they've been trying to push this shit that PlayStation's going PC day and date, and it's like, you guys are fucking morons.
Well, they gotta do something, right? They fighting for their lives here. What up, Jez? My brother Jez, the real Jez, not the fake one. The real Jez is in the chat. Barber Country, what's good, player? Not here's
some of that Digital Foundry clip where they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're not really naming the.
Digital Foundry is scared.
Yeah, they kind of look like it.
Salute! I got a new subscriber. Cool 999. What's good? What's good, player? I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, but
you talked a lot of shit a couple years ago when that shit was going down, you know. So.
Well, and you got to understand this, right? It's one of those things where yours in the house was good. They caused this on themselves. This was a self-inflicted thing. You know, you don't have.
And it's all because they don't want to be on it.
Yeah, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that. If you don't buy games and you don't buy hardware, if you don't subscribe to services, do you think they're just going to keep doing that just because they can, just because they're Microsoft and they have all this money? No.
I can't fault the industry part of like Digital Foundry and stuff, because in their defense, this is the stuff that they were getting from Microsoft directly and being wined and dined and shit. So this was like. Technically they were being lied to as well, and they kind of got blown smoke up their ass. So and
did you guys watch Porter Rock's video?
You want I saw a little bit of it, but you want the industry to do good, so you know you're kind of like the cheerleaders and the core man. Every week that goes by, the correlation between what's going on there and like the media aspect, and then what's going on in like the AEW wrestling is
Yeah.
fucking crazy. It's because it's the same kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but no, it's not, because it's bullshit. Because just like if you watch Porter Rock's video, him showing Digital Foundry acting like they don't know why third
Yeah, I'm just
party
saying-
and these
I'm
indie
just saying
devs aren't going to put their games on there. But you know what I mean? We all
I'm
know
saying the
why, because they
cheerleader-
don't
They,
want
they don't want to get
Microsoft
attacked.
off.
They don't want to piss Microsoft off, and they don't want to
And they
get
don't want
attacked.
to lose that money from Microsoft. Just like
Yeah.
they're not going to go after PlayStation crazy like that either, because PlayStation says, "Hey, can you do that?" You know what I mean? They're caught in the middle, and they really can't be honest. Just like what got Xbox in this situation, nobody being honest. Same thing.
No, listen, I totally agree. I totally agree. Digital Foundry, they've been tiptoeing around Xbox for quite some time now. You know, and we pull up those screenshots and those videos of them mocking PlayStation 5 and Mark Cerny and all that stuff about the CPU and the
Yep.
the variable clocks and all kind of stuff, and you know, and that shit came back to bite them in the ass. And they don't want to answer the question that everybody else is answering. What happened to the T-flops? What happened to all the power and the full clocks and the full RDNA2? Where did all that shit go? What happened to the tools? What happened to all of the stuff that you guys were laughing about PlayStation for? And PlayStation came out running better version of multiplats and all its exclusives at 60 frames. So
Where's the machine learning?
exactly, all of that tech that they bragged about with Xbox. Now, granted, I say this: Digital Foundry is still going back to its same thing when it comes to the PlayStation 5 Pro, right? They're still back. It's not like they're making fun, but they're still going out on a limb saying, "Hey, these games aren't going to be 60, and this doesn't look impressive because the CPU, so on and so on." But you mocked Mark Cerny the first time, and you're gonna backdoor and do it again? Like, have you not learned anything? You know, why are you guys acting like Sony don't know what they're doing when it comes to this hardware? They're the kings of this shit. Their studios are the kings of making games, right? So why don't you just sit around and wait? Because here's the thing: now they're gonna be forced to compare the PlayStation 5 Pro to the Xbox Series X. They're not going to have a choice. And so yeah, the console war is effectively over, and Digital Foundry made a lot of money off of the console war. And they've lost a lot of goodwill because they put that battery in these Xbox back. They put the batteries in the back.
Yep.
Tom Warren, Destin
You can tell
Ligari.
they took Microsoft's money at the beginning of the gen just by the way they were talking.
Oh yeah. Remember, they got flown out. They got
Even
flown
if
out to
they didn't-
Microsoft.
Even if they
to
didn't, I see them having a vested interest in doing that anyway, and they bet on the fucking wrong horse, because you always expect fucking Sony is going to be there fucking dominating all the time. So
absolutely, because they've been doing it every
let's,
gen.
Let's back this horse and look at all this shit they're doing, and they got
Yep.
you know,
Yeah, and they still refused. They still refuse to ask the question that everybody wants to know. What happened? How can a 9 T-flop system outdo a 12.4 T-flop system? What happened?
Mark Cerny, that's why, because for 2 gens, he went to the developers and asked them what they wanted, where Microsoft ignored what they wanted, which the first thing was the big, huge shared memory pool. That was number 1. And that was last gen and this gen. So right there goes to tell you, he knew what he was doing. And remember him doing that and him saying, we're making it as easy as possible for the developers. And now with this ray tracing with the Pro, why are they doing that? Because the devs like it and it makes their lighting work better. And they don't have to do as much work, so they can get the games out faster.
Yep. I don't.
Intention wasn't to do any of that shit at all in the first place. It's all stalling on Microsoft's part.
You know, it's possible because you remember Buck on the data leaks.
DX12.
Yeah, True Virgil. Big facts, brother. Big facts. Aaron, my brother Aaron in the house. Stoney, I see you. But you remember Phil Spencer bragging with those leaks. He bragged to Satya Nadella, saying we saw what Sony had to offer, and we think we have the better hardware and the better software, and we're excited X, Y, and Z.
They didn't have any games ready. That's
And
what's crazy.
they didn't have no games ready, and then even when they had the games ready, they looked like shit and they ran like shit. Their first next generation game, I'm not gonna let you guys forget, was Redfall at 30 frames a second.
You know what's different though?
Mm-hmm.
Phil's a nice guy. He goes and he meets with these fuckers and he shakes their hand and acts like it's like it's that whole thing. It's just
Shout out to my brother Overdone. He's the meme master, man. He keep me in the game, man. With all the funny memes and videos.
There's anything they're really good at is it being salespeople and selling you on dreams and all that shit. So,
but Phil has.
I wouldn't happen to me. I wouldn't have fucking bought that shit if I was. But I would have had integrity as a writer. I could see why they got caught up, and now they're exposed for it. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's funny though. Like, what happened to just waiting to see? Right? See what's going to happen. What happened to that? But they were bragging so much. And I get Digital Foundry, right? Because let's face it, those guys are really PC guys. They're into the PC thing. That's why they play. They love comparing PC to the consoles, but they never bring up the price. The price of entry for high-end gaming.
And they always compare PC and PS5, no Xbox.
Yeah, well, remember that was last year. They said that Microsoft told them to not compare the Xbox Series X and S consoles to PC because a lot of times they don't have the proper settings to compare the two, and stuff like that. But then Digital Foundry turn around and compare the PS5 to a PC game, and then nobody bats an eye. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? If you're going to do PC, compare AMD versus NVIDIA or something like that. But these $300, $400 consoles, like, are you, like, would I compare, a Lamborghini to a fucking Honda Civic? That makes no fucking sense.
This game you're showing in the background, it reminds me of God of War on the PSP. I don't know if you remember those games.
Yeah.
Ghost is part of
it. It's in that light. It's in that light, as well as with Diablo, as well as Ori. It's made by the creators of Ori.
Oh, I like Ori. I still never played Ori 2. I gotta play that.
You do. Yeah,
I'm not giving them any more money for Game Pass.
Yeah.
Fuck that, buy your
Well,
game.
it's just a matter of time before Ori is on a PS5, so I would just wait. You got your PS5
over now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you got a PS5 now, so you better start buying your games on PS5, so at least you have them.
Really, all Buck has to do is just sign up for the base level of PlayStation Plus, because they give you all those fucking games, like all the Sony first party big games, like God of War, Days Gone.
Well, no, they pulled that from the lower tier.
Well, they pulled it only because it was in the collection, right? So they removed the collection and just dumped it inside of PlayStation Plus, because it was the same. It was the same. Because it was a duplicate anyway.
Plus, they've been giving good games. Like we got Day
absolutely.
and Date, Dave the Diver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Day and Date. They got three games this month for Day and Date.
Yeah.
They were indies, but still, I mean. Hell, it's something.
Yeah. Well, and that game was it was a shoe-in. It was in running for the game of the year as well, for Indie of the Year. So I just
cool.
I'm gonna just be honest, man. And I'm not just gonna sit here and shit on Digital Foundry. Yeah, they stoked the fires and they haven't been honest about a lot of things. But I get it. Their bread and butter is from the console war, right? Comparing and stuff like that. But you got to have some integrity with that too.
Yeah, because the support you gain from that.
Yeah.
Was it worth it in the end? Baby facing yourself to the people that really they're not buying the game. So. Well,
and on top of that, you're not buying yourself any favors with the console leaders either.
And then to those people who bought into that stuff, it's like, It's completely understandable that because of what was promised.
Yeah.
The prospect of this service where you're going to get all their games,
Yeah.
if it stayed at the level of we're going to get the equivalent of what they get over on PlayStation, that was what was promised, or even better,
Look at
or
hey
more.
Buck, look at P-Rock's brother. He already has a PC.
So it's understandable by why people would want to opt in the first place.
Yeah.
But don't get mad at them that they want to opt out now because the broken promises and not keeping it real about these broken promises. People don't want to say that. They're spinning it away from this failure thing, which is just like insanity to me. But whatever, if that's what people want to, how they want to spin it for their own mental well-being.
I just find it very funny that all of a sudden now the Xbox dudes have moved on from Xbox console and they're jumping over to PC claiming victory. Like, what? Dude, how you gonna claim victory? Your fucking console lost. Like, all your games came.
The bezels.
Yeah.
Did you see that fucking article by Jez Gordon? Oh, Microsoft dominating on PlayStation Store. Well,
yeah, they have over 25 games. They have over 25 games on the PlayStation Store. They're counting Call of Duty and all the Bethesda. Listen, if this is what it takes for them to cope, if this is what it takes for them to keep from jumping off the roof, let them. Let them. Just mere weeks ago, there was crying and screaming that the console war is over and there's no reason to own an Xbox, and now here they are.
Yeah, but you don't have to lie about everything else, though. That's where it gets like egregious. Is all this whole because it doesn't hold up to logic.
Yeah.
That Sony is all of a sudden they're gonna just become a third party and do everything on it's not making. And then also the unsustainable thing doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Because
you're saying that's unsustainable, but like Xbox is gonna be like still be able to make AAA games.
How did we get here though? How did Xbox start out being a console to being a service to being any and everything that you claim it is? Whatever you want it to be. Your Samsung TV is an Xbox. Your iPhone is an Xbox. Your PlayStation is an Xbox. Your Switch is an Xbox. Like how the fuck did we get here? Was?
2013 reveal. That was the first snowball when that gen started, and then they quit, which they're quitting now. For this gen, they just gave up. They don't care.
I think it just took him.
So, and then when they bought Minecraft really opened their eyes. Like, you know what I mean? I think that really was the first step of the multi-platform agenda.
They tried some things.
They made so much money. You know what I mean? They see that money coming in, and you're seeing it coming in from every platform. You know what I mean? Your people are gonna tell you, yeah, put your shit everywhere, because you can just make so much more money if you get something like that as a hit. You know what I mean?
I think they were just trying a bunch of different things in the meantime before getting out of the hardware business. And
yeah, they took their time
on in the meantime. But I think they made that decision probably a long time ago.
Yeah, they were hoping something would hit big, and exactly. They could just turn the ship and don't worry about going multi-plat. But something happened in the past year, because you know what I mean? Phil isn't speaking like he was, and it's Satya and Tim Stewart, and you know what I mean? You're seeing other people.
Well, one of the main things was the ABK not panning out to have as quick of a
as fast as it was. Yeah.
It might have got sold to Satya that there would be a fucking wave. It'd be more payoff quickly, but some of that shit was falling off a cliff already in the first place, which is why I think they wanted even the deal. You can kind of see that stuff ahead of time just by analyzing shit, just like they knew about Blizzard.
Yeah.
Wow. You could try to get them before it really goes under.
You made a good point, Buck. Where the hell is Phil Spencer? We hadn't heard from him in a long time.
Yeah.
He would normally tweet every day or post somewhere, but Dude, he's
Sarah
he's
Bond
been
now.
Yeah.
It's Sarah Bond now. It's Sarah Bond now. She's the one that you're going to hear from. You're barely going to hear from Phil anymore.
What is there to say though? There's nothing really.
Yeah, there's nothing to really talk about until they have a show next time.
yeah.
Which Sarah Bond keeps saying this shit about, technological leap for their next hardware, but that doesn't, you know what I mean?
He definitely knows.
You don't need game preservation if you're fucking staying on the same architecture.
He's smart
So
enough
right
to
there
know
proves that they're
people
moving
just call
on.
him a liar online too.
Oh yeah. Every time she posts something, they shout out to Crap Gamer Man, but every time he posts the screenshot of when Phil and them was saying in court that Sony spends 30 they use that 30% off of third-party games to make Xbox
She's gotta
to
have him
kill
on mute
Xbox.
by now. I gotta imagine she's got it muted.
Oh yeah, every time. I mean, I see him. If you go to any of her tweets, Crap is
First
right
comment.
under there.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it.
Yeah, and they asked, "Where's Jim Ryan?" Listen, Jim Ryan is living a good life now. He's retired.
Yeah.
He's finally able to go home and play PlayStation games. Now he's a gamer, guys.
And he kind of set up, regardless of whatever everybody wants to say about Sony, this is looking like it's going to be their most successful console. So it's on its way to be. So it's like,
Yeah,
what the fuck else can you say? It's like, you can't really say much else.
What's good, know your boy? Say it, J-Dub and Pownell. Chat, hit the like button, fuck niggas. Big facts, big facts. I'm gonna be honest.
Because of the games or something like that. But
I've always said that there was gonna be a reckoning one day, and that the Xbox guys eventually were gonna turn on Phil. I'm waiting for that day to happen. They, for whatever reason, they still haven't turned on him yet.
I think some of the diehards did. I mean, some of them.
Yeah, but they didn't really go hard, right? They went hard on Jim Ryan.
Yeah, that's true.
For saying he believed in generations, even though he delivered next generation games. It's really weird.
I still don't. This whole next. You think they're just gonna put out one more system, like the hybrid thing?
I'll be honest. I think they're making the tech, and they're just going to license it out to third party if they want to make it.
License what tech exactly?
So that they can
the Xbox
sell their
tech
console, Xbox console. They can make their own, like a NUC or a Chromebook or any other.
You're
laptop
talking
or
about
whatever.
that Discord league with the OEMs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because don't forget, they turned over the hardware department to the Microsoft Surface. And that guy who was in charge of Surface, Panel Panay, he's no longer there. He left.
And the guy who created the Series X and S left. And you don't need to do game preservation if you're staying on the same architecture. You only need to do that if you're moving. So if they're moving on to ARM, they have to have some kind of software so that it'll convert it so that those games will work.
Yep, so it'll emulate.
It just is what it is. They're moving on, man.
Backwards compatibility.
What if
they said forward compatibility is what they said.
Forward compatibility, because they're moving on to a new architecture, so you have to have that emulator, so all them x86 games will work on ARM. On their version of ARM.
Everything you guys are saying is true, but also in Microsoft Cinematic Universe speak, that can also mean fucking PlayStation. Because game preservation for the future, everybody knows the fucking PlayStation is going to be around at least a little longer than Xbox. So,
I'll be honest, I don't see Nintendo or PlayStation going away. I don't see PlayStation and Nintendo going away.
What did they have to preserve? All their shit's on x86. So really, as long as whatever you're moving ahead to from there, all the x86 games will just go with you. You know what I mean? But if you're just going to stay on x86, the games are there. It don't matter. They're always going to be there. Even 5 gens from now, if they stay on x86, you'll be able to play all of them.
Pastor Joe's Tower, what's good, brother? Welcome. Levon, what do you think about this, man? What do you think the future of Xbox is?
One more console But after that, at that point, who knows? I can
Who
see
is
one
this?
more.
Who is this
Mhm.
console for though? If they didn't buy the Series X and the S, who is this? What's this next world's most powerful or world whatever?
It's
What
going
is
to be
that?
a
Who is
hard
that for?
sell. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a hard sell.
especially with no exclusives.
Well, especially with,
That
all your
too.
games
That
coming on
too.
PlayStation, you can just buy a PlayStation and a Switch, and then that's it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be missing anything.
What's that cloud hybrid idea? Like,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that's about, if anything.
That's what I was talking about, Levon.
Yeah.
It was in the actual
The
leaks
leak.
from
Yeah,
Microsoft from the court cases where the cloud hybrid thing was either they're going to put it in a controller or they're going to have like a streaming stick or you know what I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
They know there's a lot of people that just they want people to go over to PC, but they know they have a chunk of people that are.
There's people who don't want to play on PC. They still want an easy experience. So if you have a
Of
plug-in
course,
device,
yeah.
it's cheap. You know,
It all makes sense because, like, I think that's what led to a little bit of the subculture of PlayStation haters too, is because it's kind of a premium console. It's like
Yep.
it's hard to obtain for a lot of people. So like that S was a fucking opt-in for.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely was an entry level, I guess,
Right.
next gen. Yeah, it was that.
Well, and they were promised 1440p 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're even if you're a PC gamer, right? Let me remind you guys. Majority of the PC gamers are gaming at 1080p. Majority of PC
Yes.
gamers don't have a high-end graphics card, right? The average for Steam was the 1060, right?
Okay.
So you don't have a mass amount of people walking around with 4080s and 4090s. That's never the case. But you have to look at it like this. PlayStation still has exclusives. They're still out to sell hardware. Nintendo
And
still
that's their
has
focus.
exclusives. They're out to do what they do best, right? Microsoft with Xbox is the only ones that are attempting to try various things to see what stick. They've tried Game Pass. They've tried play games here
They're
and there.
experimenting. They're
Basically,
experimenting right now.
but
Yeah.
I think Game Pass is going to change again.
Honestly, I can see Game Pass going away. It was an experiment. They tried it to see
or day and date, just so they could get rid of the day and date shit. You know what I mean?
So if they get rid of day and date, really, what incentive is it for you to sign up for it anyway? Right?
Yeah.
That was the whole incentive behind Game Pass, was the fact that you can get day and date games.
Yep.
You remove that biggest incentive, there is no sense to having it.
But it killed all their sales. It killed their sales. It killed their sales. That's all it did.
For most people, but I'm talking about those people that do like it and stuff. If they had a cheap, if they kept on that route of keeping a cheap alternative out there, where it's like for people, they can like $300, but and they're okay with not getting day and date and all these fucking AAA, but it's still the fucking Game Pass model. I think they could they might still do something like that. So like the hybrid thing would make sense in that regard.
Think about it,
The
but
Series S type. Oh, I'm sorry.
The Series S was $139 for the holiday season. They still didn't win an MPD. They still didn't do what they needed to do. The Series X was $349. They still didn't make any roads. They still were third place. Outside of just literally giving away consoles with every Game Pass subscription, what more can they do? I just don't.
Well, if you built it cheap enough in the first place, I think it might be worthwhile for them for some people.
But
you'd still
all
only
those
sell a couple
people,
million.
all those people who are used to not buying games, though, they're not gonna. They're done. If you do that, if you change it and there's no day and date like that, like they're gone. That's the whole point, is the day and date, and you know what I mean. So if it's just going to be Microsoft first party games, you know what I mean, which that's probably what it's going to turn into. You know what I mean? Because why would they buy you're going to see them put some third-party shit in there, but it'll probably be indie titles and smaller shit, because why would you spend all that money if you have all these studios? You know what I mean?
I agree. They have 50-some studios and multiple teams. Allegedly, hundreds of games being made. Why is none of this shit ready? What's taking so long? They bought Bethesda back in 2018, 2017. They bought ABK last year, but were they not working on anything? Like, where's the fruits from that? Sony bought fucking Insomniac, and Insomniac been putting out games every 2 years, every year and a half, multiple different games. So I just don't understand.
Well, they're running into the same shit that fucking Nintendo had to figure out. When shit was like being upgraded and costing more. Well, when you fucking penny pinch like what fucking they've been trying to do, you realizing and when you try to run shit like software, that's the other problem that Microsoft has. They're trying to run some of these game devs as like it's software.
No, I agree.
Like you're just updating software, so it's every 6 months it's fucking these new people. It's like, oh, update the shit. And what are you talking about? We got to build maps and fucking, you know what I mean?
And there's no like hurry to it. You know what I mean? They can just take their time and do like this shit with Hellblade. That would have never flew on PlayStation. That game would have been canceled or what? You know what I mean? They would have never let them take 8 years to make a fucking 10-hour game.
You're right. No, you're right.
I just don't think. Well, I think on a certain level, their heart isn't into being a creative entity.
Because Microsoft's not a creative entity.
Exactly.
Steve Jobs told you that they don't really create anything that's worthwhile.
Sony grew into that in
but as well,
interactive or whatever,
because of the PS3 gen.
Yeah, whatever their video game company. I mean, when you fucking walk in there, I'm sure it's just like it's all about. They know what they're doing as far as like letting creative people do what they do.
But Braxton said,
"Listen, y'all. Like honestly, I've owned the Series consoles for 3 years.
Yeah,
they're decent to okay, if anything. That's my honest view with it. It was just the lack of exclusive titles. that was my biggest thing. But otherwise, they're fine consoles for what they are. I mean, that's just me.
But let me ask you this: did they deliver what they promised you?
Well, no, they need to deliver the games, the showcase that it's better, and no.
Yeah, but now the third-party devs and the indie devs are talking about not making games for Xbox. That's not good.
Yeah, but
it started with Baldur's Gate 3, remember?
Like EA saying, you know what, we're gonna cut the cord. We're gonna leave Xbox.
Yep.
When we're gonna see something like that, because that's where it's like, okay, it's a wrap. It's truly a wrap. That would make me say, you know what, this is a wrap. Yeah.
But see, I don't think you're gonna have companies like that to do it, because those are huge companies that can afford to just sell to a.
Well, the reason that I say that because that was the similar thing that happened with Sega. When Sega EA went separate ways, that's when it was like, okay, things aren't going well. It's a wrap. And I haven't seen that with Xbox. I mean, EA's still supporting them with all their games and stuff. So until we see a big publisher say, you know what, let's leave Xbox alone, let's just stick with PC and PlayStation, until I see something like that, that would, at this point, just Xbox is just coasting by. It's just
so. How about this, Levon? How about this?
Okay,
right?
Yeah,
you may not see developers doing that, but you have been seeing developers say, we're just going to focus more on PlayStation than Xbox.
Okay.
You have developers saying, hey, obviously the game is running better on PlayStation.
Yeah.
PlayStation gets to get the marketing deal where Xbox usually get the marketing deal. You also had situations where the developers speak out and make the Xbox feel like, Xbox gamers feel like they're second class citizens, which their own first party studio has been treating them that way. Look at Sea of Thieves. The guys were bragging about having a secret chamber within their development team working on the PS5 with the dev kits and stuff. I mean, they clearly have been through a lot. So I'm just saying, it may not have to be where EA has to remove Madden or something like that, or FIFA from not FIFA but Football Club.
Developers prioritizing PlayStation more because of the sales. I can see that, definitely.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
And PlayStation sent techs over to help them get those games performing and running good and the haptics.
Have you heard any stories of Microsoft or anything saying, you know what, we need help helping these developers, utilize the 12 teraflops?
Hey, Buck, didn't
no.
Shout out to Freddie Wayne. What's the RTG group or whatever the group?
Oh yeah.
There's been an update on that. That's the Gears team, right? They're actually helping the other teams that are using Unreal Engine. They have a team now that's going around any game that's using Unreal Engine throughout Microsoft's portfolio. If they need help, that's who is helping them. There's a team from Gears. I just seen it this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's good. But until they get rid of that 18-month policy shit, you know what I mean? Like what happened with Halo and all that shit.
Yeah,
like, come on.
You're laying people off every two years, and so you never get any good quality people that know what the hell's going on because you don't want to pay them insurance and benefits.
And they're being stingy with. They need to update their engines because look at the shit with Halo and then the Bethesda and all that. You know what I mean? Because they want to use them old ass engines and shit like, and they're getting so out of date compared to everybody else. I
just don't know how they recover from that because it's not like Nintendo and Sony are just sitting still. Right, they're tuning their engines. You saw Death Stranding, right? Death Stranding 2, Digital Foundry is one of the best looking games ever fucking seen. That's running on a Decima engine, so they've been updating that thing. So it's not like Nintendo and everybody else is just sitting still. Like you have to compete. This is competition.
I don't think that's the intention. I think the intention is to wait behind smoked glass with the fucking PS5 dev kits and. They're gonna get all behind that. And
some Microsoft first party studio, maybe all of them, have those PS5 dev kit, the PS5 Pro dev kits. You know that.
And I know Freddie will give me shit for that, but it's I thought I saw Freddie Wayne. But anyway, yeah, I think that's really the ultimate goal with a lot of this shit because they're the ones fucking selling consoles. They're the ones that So it just makes the most logical sense.
Wango, what's good, brother? What's good?
What's up, Craig? What's up, Craig?
Craig said,
"Yeah, Craig's in here."
He said, "Where are the 52 CUs?"
Oh god,
Levon, listen. I'm not capping, bro, but I remember back in 2020 before these consoles launched, dudes was popping big shit about the world's most powerful console.
Yeah,
all the shit it was gonna do, and the full RDNA 2, and
well, how about this one? How about Post and Noah? Where I mean, they really were trying to set us up. As
they were
the fucking S. The S was going up against the PS5. That was the
They said the PS5 competing against the S because that's true. You ain't
honestly
lying.
I thought the Series X was going to be the definitive place to play games. That was the first console that I got for this generation. That's what I honestly thought, if anything.
They weren't, but the S sold better. That's what threw that curveball at them. That the S.
Well, the reason is,
better.
But Levon has a point.
That's the base system.
The reason it sold better is because they were promised 1440p 120. Most people didn't even have a 4K TV at the time, so it really didn't make any sense for them to get it. If you can spend $299 and get something that runs great, because Microsoft said the only difference will be the resolution.
Yeah.
Right? But that was a lie.
Yes.
So I don't know. They just really screwed the pooch with that, and then shout out to the dudes at RDX. They blame the tools. Just wait for the tools. The tools, right? They did that for a whole year, and that shit never led to anything.
And where did they get that talking point from, too?
Probably post up.
Oh,
well, I mean,
the GitHub guru, my brother. Him and Mello.
Oh,
they gonna find some kind of inside information. Even Windows Central. You remember when allegedly he met Jez Corden met with Phil Spencer in South America some kind of way, even though Jez is in the UK somewhere. Oh yeah, I met with Phil Spencer and asked him about those games aren't going to. Yeah, those games aren't going to PlayStation. That's a fanboy's dream.
Down in Brazil at the
event. And 2 goddamn weeks later, we found out all that.
Digital press kit, and they used AI probably.
Yeah, it's true. They are the cover guys for Microsoft. They're the mouthpiece. They go out there and deliver the bad news and.
Well, who admitted it? Maddie? Wasn't it Mr. Maddie admitted it?
Yeah.
Somebody has a clip of it where he admitted that they get marching orders from Microsoft of what to say.
Anytime they have some bad news, they tell them, and then they'll have to go out there and make it okay. And
that's why you'll see the same tropes in like 10 different people's fucking videos, because they're all getting it from the same source.
Yeah, that is kind of the job of the PR
PR marketing people. Yeah,
they have. I mean, if you can look it all up. I mean, they even in their videos they explain how they do it, and it's kind of like
that's why they made the ambassador program. That's exactly what it's for.
I don't think
basically they get the perks. They get flown out. They get the perks to go out and lie to a lot of people. Well, and I won't say 100% lie, but stretch the truth, and sometimes just straight up lie.
Well, I think the bubble burst on that. You want to talk about bubble bursting on shit?
Let's go.
What was the last one? Well, that's another one. I think the money dried up on that. The PR firm. So they're not getting all those perks right now.
Yep. Microsoft used them as the PR piece and to market.
So how long do you guys think the Xbox Series consoles will be supported? Let me ask you guys that.
For a long fucking time.
How long do you guys think they'll support it?
For a long time. There's no sense. There's no reason. Like even 10 years from now, what reason is there? If you can still play, right? Being honest, if you have an Xbox One X, yeah, you should still be able to play.
And by then, they could, if it needs to, they could do the cloud app and just download a new app on it to do it. You know what I mean?
Already, so it's kind of future proof in a way for what they're doing.
It is.
I thought you meant on pushing it, because I was gonna say
they gave up already.
They've already given up because they're talking about the next one. That is
we're 3 years into this generation, guys. 3 years into this generation.
2026. That's the rumor date. The next one is supposed to come out 2026.
Think how bad the Xbox One was fucking up, but they didn't fucking start talking about the goddamn next Xbox.
Yeah,
and then here we are on this one, and they're already talking about.
Yeah, they gave up.
They
already
They said they were going to gear up for next gen, and they never did.
Yeah. Well, because remember the thing about the end of last generation, it was, well, they're already working on the games for next generation, so they kind of gave up on this gen already. Remember, Post Up them told us that, and so everybody was like, all right, we'll give them a pass. And then they launched 2 next generation consoles with no goddamn games, and it's like, what happened? I thought all the studios was working on games for this generation, for the next generation. What happened? Guys are just pulling shit out of their ass. They don't know. We really don't know.
And the spin is they're gonna start the next gen early, which
2026. Yeah,
they're gonna try to get all in front
of saying we're ending this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically,
in 3 years,
I guess, like the Wii U and the Switch. I guess they're gonna do something like that.
And then the PS6 will dominate it. You know what I mean? It won't even be close to it.
Well, and you're gonna run into that same situation again, Heath. You run into the situation where you have a next generation console, but the PS5 and the PS5 Pro is outdoing that console.
Well, they're trying to do like a Xbox 360 type of thing where they release early and hopefully by then it'll get some buzz throughout
but
that
it didn't
year
work.
before.
It didn't work during the best Xbox generation ever. It didn't even work then.
Yeah, and it'll work worse this time because you're shitting on the people, right? The customers.
Yeah, because everybody either moved to PC or went to PlayStation.
Because even
and it won't be powerful.
Talking about the next one alone to customers is just like a fuck you. Because it's like, well, what about me right now? Like, I just fucking bought this fucking thing, you know.
And if it's ARM, if it's ARM, you know what I mean. You're pretty much throwing everything that you've done, all your old shit away, and going to a new architecture and all that shit. So, and it ain't gonna be competing with a PS6. Like, it's gonna be way underpowered because you don't need it. Because it's gonna be a cloud hybrid.
It's just crazy. I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, Buck. I can't see any person with a right mind going out and giving Microsoft another fucking $500.
Not even as a content creator.
Not even a content creator.
Okay.
What? Okay, let me ask you this, Levon. What content? Isn't that part of the problem, right? This is 2024. We're 3 years in. Microsoft owns more studios than Nintendo and Sony combined.
Yeah.
And yet they haven't yet released a single game this year. What content?
I guess old games. That's what they're good at.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna talk about backwards compatibility again. What games are they going to give you backwards compatibility again, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Medium, the Falconeer. What have Marvel Xbox game? Really? What from first party has Xbox released this generation? Halo and Forza, right?
Halo,
and we
Forza.
may get a gear, but what else besides that, right? From first party, we know Fable? Starfield and them, and I mean you can count all of those games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, at this point, they might as well make all that shit go to next generation if they're gonna talk about doing a new gen in 2026.
Yeah, they only 2 years away.
I don't think it's gonna be what we're thinking. So like that, they're just using those words, new gen and
it's supposed to be a technological leap, not the most powerful. Technological, So.
But let me ask you this: do you think the reason she said technological is because she literally couldn't say the world's most powerful again, because everybody would have been like, oh, here we go again, like, so but then she just
it won't be powerful if it's that, you know what I mean, if it's cloud hybrid, it won't be powerful, so you don't need to top power because there's no reason.
No, it's just
but see and if it's a handheld, it wouldn't be technological, because you already have other devices that are probably going to be more powerful, or better, right?
Our most technological leap forward.
Technological.
Okay.
Yes.
That means different. That means different.
No, you're right.
They put in there that they word it different, even if it's using the same technology that somebody else has. If you just call it something different, I mean, it's all this. It's just branding and marketing shit, you know.
Yeah.
You can leave it vague, you know. They might not even know fully what they're gonna completely do yet. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're such a fucking, I don't know what.
What do you guys think of you know, the PC stuff, like the idea of adding Epic Games on Xbox? Like, do you guys think it's cap or?
Okay. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it would. Cap. Why would they let?
Here's the thing. What PC gamer you know would buy a fucking Xbox? You already have a PC. You already have the best place to play. What is that console going to do for you? Do you really want to play your games, your PC games, where you're playing at 120, 240 frames?
At lower quality.
At 30 frames? Do you really want that shit locked at 30 frames like Xbox games are now?
I think they were just trying to keep the bleed.
Yeah, I think they're trying to cater to the hardcore and their base by just they're babbling again, just trying to keep shit going.
They're saying,
they're trying to soften the blows so they can keep as many Game Pass subscribers as they can while they transition. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Even when they were vague about like opening up the Series X, you know, it's just almost a way of just saying, don't sell your Series X, please. Don't put it on eBay, or you know.
Yeah.
Kind of
because
saying,
ultimately,
do this with this one day. You know?
I'm gonna be honest.
Pastor's in the chat. He says PC is PS5.
Yeah. Hey, Pastor Joe. Hey, Pastor, I'm finna send you an invite, brother.
Oh God.
Let's get Pastor.
What were you guys saying? What were you guys saying?
Yeah. No, I just.
That doesn't make any sense. PC is PS5.
Listen.
Well, you see, they add in the trophies with Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, that's. Then that makes people wonder, like, PlayStation's closer to going day and date.
No, they're just adding those features to their games on PC. That's it.
Hey, I got it. Island J Game. Hey, Pastor, I just sent you a invite in Discord. So if you check that, you can jump in here, brother.
Just like they're making a big deal about Kenna going over to Xbox or whatever, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a third-party game. They've had it for like 4 years. Like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
They could still maximize all the money they make, and do it one day. They will do it, but they're not. They're not gonna sacrifice what they got going now. So it's gonna.
They're not gonna sacrifice game sales like Microsoft did.
Exactly.
They're not doing that.
Well,
they're not doing that.
Sean Layden just said that on Jay Barry's and Persona's What's Up podcast when they interviewed him a few weeks back. He said that Sony won't trade a PC gamer for a PlayStation gamer. They don't want to trade. They don't trade because the problem is when a person leaves PlayStation, go to PC,
they're not going
you lose the money, right? Not only from the hardware, but you lose the money from all the software and the services and like, you know, PlayStation Plus,
the accessories and shit.
All the accessories, headphones and all that stuff. Yeah, because with PC, most people don't have that stuff. So you really lose. But he said they'll continue doing what they typically do, taking older titles that have already ran their course. They've already made as much money that they'll probably make on them, and then they'll offer them to another audience and see if they can pick up a few pennies here and there, and then if so, then it's good. But let's stop acting like the games that have went to the PC, right? Those Sony games that have went to the PC, let's stop acting like these games sell millions and millions of copies. They don't. Most of those games sell, maybe 600,000, 500,000 copies, maybe. You may get one or two to sell 1 million, but that's very
not the same time.
And then they bring up the show. It's like, well, yeah, it's a sports game. Like they wanted that everywhere. So that's just the way, you know what I mean? It should have been everywhere anyway, because it's a baseball game. Like, come on.
What's up, Pastor? What's up?
Hey, Pastor. Up, hey, you on my? Hey, Pastor, you on my show now, brother. I'm gonna give you the courtesy of letting you speak. You can speak. You can say whatever you want. I'm not gonna kick you out. I'm not gonna cut you off or anything, brother. You got the floor.
It's all good, man.
Don't you see how courteous I am, brother?
It's all good, Jadam.
Okay.
Somehow I'm hearing a lot of hope and denial in your mouth. I mean, here we have Heat saying, no, guys, they're just putting that on the PC. It's not going to happen, and then we have you guys saying, no, don't worry, guys, don't look over here. Xbox is dead. I'm hearing a lot of hope.
I think there'll be another console, Pastor.
There's going to be PlayStations for the foreseeable future. So I don't
I believe so too.
It just won't be Xboxes. That's the problem.
What's very funny? I find funny. I find that
what do you eat, Pastor?
I'm eating a lovely Caesar salad, man, with olives and pickles and a nice little grilled chicken with feta cheese. Ooh, buddy.
Man, that sounds good, Pastor.
Yeah,
sound good.
Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm.
Pastor trying to eat healthy.
Yeah, man. I'm getting too much weight, man. But anyway, What I find funny is that for years, Jacob, you and your coalition have been saying that, Xbox games are no good, but it's very surprising to see that Xbox games are, basically topping the charts, the PlayStation charts. Yep. How is that, my good brother? How is that so, my good brother? But on the flip hand, on the flip side, we are seeing that your own exclusives are tanking. Koei Tecmo didn't sell well. We are seeing, so many games that recently came out. We see Foam Stars dead. We see Rise of Ronin struggling. How is this possible?
Helldivers isn't though.
Helldivers is being pushed and propelled by the PC community. However,
are you asking why certain PlayStation games are selling more than other PlayStation games?
No. What I'm saying is that your bangers. Remember, J-Dub said everything that Sony has is bangers, right? They will blow your brains out, correct? They'll melt your face, right? Mm-hmm. These bangers that was released this year, we are talking about Foam Stars. We're talking about the Rise of Ronin. We are talking about this other
Final
game.
Fantasy.
Even Final Fantasy did not, capture the masses like how Final Fantasy as a franchise is dying right before our eyes. And there is no concern. Buck, what's going on here, Buck?
Let me explain it to you, Pastor. Shout out to T. Harrison in the chat. He said, "Pastor, stop lying. We know that ain't no damn chicken. That's bush meat." Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, listen, I don't. Xbox games going to PlayStation and PlayStation gamers buying them, that doesn't shock me at all. You know why? Because PlayStation gamers are gamers. They don't mind buying and playing games, right? They don't mind that. The problem wasn't PlayStation gamers supporting games. It's always been Xbox gamers supporting games. That's why your games are on PlayStation, right? That's why the whole slate is coming. This is why your hardware is good. This is why all these stuff that's happening to Xbox. This is why. You guys you didn't support Game Pass. You didn't support the Series X or the S. You didn't go out and do anything. Your two next generation consoles combined are getting outsold by the Dunny D Xbox with the Kinect. How is that possible, Pastor Joe? I was told that the Xbox One with the Kinect was the worst console in history. How is that one outdoing the world's most powerful console and the world's cheapest 1440p 120 player? How is that possible?
It's very easy to explain that, Jadam. Number one, let me just go back to what it is you just said. You said the reason why it is you expected PlayStation gamers to buy Xbox games is because
they
PlayStation gamers they buy games.
Yeah, they don't mind. Yeah, Digital Foundry said that, by the way.
So why they didn't buy Forspoken? Why didn't buy the Rise of Ronin?
They did buy those games.
According to
those devs are happy. Just because you see it on Windows Central, that doesn't mean
because here's the thing, Pastor. Those third party games. Not every, and see, and this is what goes. This is the difference, right? Not every gamer is like. Let's take a game like Returnal, right? A lot of people say, why didn't this game sell 20 million, 30 million copies like Spider-Man, and God of War, and The Last of Us, right? No. I'm just telling you what I've heard. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Let's start at 500,000. Let's
say 500,000. Okay, let's say 500,000, right? Let's just say that, right? It's because not every gamer likes every single game. That's just what it is. Like for example,
and the same argument can be made for Xbox gamers because if you are saying
you're right. You're right, Pastor. That can be said. Now let's say that for Xbox gamers. Here's the difference between Xbox gamers and PlayStation gamers. PlayStation gamers in droves go out and support their first party games. Xbox gamers, on the other hand, don't. This is why you got your first party games on PlayStation, right? Look at Halo. Look at Forza. Listen. The new Forza sold less than 200,000 copies. Wait. Sold less than 200,000 copies. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how is that? This was one of your main staples, right? Look at any of your other first party games. They just like even let's take a game like Starfield, right? This game was supposed to be the game of the generation. It was hyped up to the end of the world. Mm-hmm. It failed to capture and deliver on what was promised. Now, here's the thing. If you remove the PC crowd from Xbox, you're going to end up with 90% less people who actually played and bought the games. The fact that you have a service like Game Pass that lets you play these games for free, technically, and nobody is still supporting and going out and subscribing and playing these games in any kind of meaningful numbers, that's a huge problem. On the other hand, you take a PlayStation game or PlayStation games that are $70, and a lot of these games, like this year, you had the Last of Us 2 remake drop. Then we had Foam Stars. Then we had Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Then we turned around and had Helldivers. Then we turned around and had Rise of Ronin. Then we turn around and we're going to have Stellar Blade next week. And I think I'm missing one or two games that came out in between, right? Because I'm not looking at my PlayStation app right now. But that's a lot of games within these last 4 months, right? We're 4 months into the year. This is April. Sony has launched like 6 or 7 games that's targeted to us. Xbox hasn't launched one single game that's targeted to Xbox. So with all of those, hold on, Pastor. With all of those games dropping, not everybody has $70 to go out and buy every single one of these 6 or 7 games that I name, right? So I get it. Not every game is going to sell 20 million copies, 30 million copies. The fact that, let's say Square Enix, right? They gave us Final Fantasy 16. They turn around and give us Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And then, come to find out, Final Fantasy 16 brought in a whole new usher of young people into the series and captivating, according to Square Enix themselves. So guess what? There's new DLC that's coming out for Final Fantasy 16, and it's going to be a main staple. So I get it. Xbox dudes say these games fail. But clearly Square Enix is still making these games exclusive to PlayStation and not letting Xbox touch them. So clearly that says it did something well. Right?
But let me say this,
Why
right?
does PlayStation always have to put the fucking industry on its back too?
This is
come on.
This is IGN. This is IGN, right? IGN is saying our Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth sales struggling. We asked the experts. This is a recent article that is put out.
Because you guys
right?
didn't go out and buy it.
No. The reason why this article even exists is because
it's an opinion piece. Because it's an opinion piece.
No, it's because of what Daniel Ahmad said recently, who gets the actual numbers and gets the actual trackers, right? He is basically saying that here what? Final Fantasy did not even sell half of its predecessor. And even if you look at its predecessor, the predecessor did not meet the sales goals of its predecessor. So consistently, because of Final Fantasy deals that it made with Sony, we are seeing a lessening, as it were, when it comes to sales of the Final Fantasy.
So why is Square Enix keep? So why do Square Enix keep? Why do they keep giving PlayStation the exclusives then?
Because they have a history with PlayStation ever since.
Or is the other guys not being too cheap?
Ever since they left Nintendo and they took
Pastor, they left Nintendo back in the 90s?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Since then, Square Enix had a very close working relationship with Sony. That is not news.
So it's Sony's fault that it's not on Xbox, is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is this, Buck, I want you to listen. I want you to think fast and talk slow, right? What I'm saying is this, that since the exclusivity deals of Final Fantasy with PlayStation, we are seeing a decline in sales. That's all I'm saying. And that's not my opinion. This is what the data show.
Okay,
So you think the Final Fantasy game should be, multi-platform, like the Final Fantasy 7 remake, rebirth, or whatever they call it? Do you think those should be like on multiple platforms at this point? Or
look how well Helldivers is doing for Sony. That's multi-platform, and I could imagine even putting.
No, it's on PC. It's on PC. It's not it's not multi-platform.
Yes,
it's not on Xbox or Nintendo.
PC is a platform, Jada. It's multi-platform.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Pastor. So let's take a game. Square Enix. No. Let me tell you why Square Enix is not putting the Final Fantasy Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox. They tried, right? Jason gave you guys the Final Fantasy. What was the PSP?
Crisis Core or something.
The Crisis
like
Core.
That.
They just gave you Crisis Core. 95% of Crisis Core sales were on PlayStation. That means only 5% was on Xbox. That means you guys don't buy Square Enix games anyway. This is why they gave us the Forspoken. This is why they gave us the Final Fantasy Rebirth and the Final Fantasy 16. This is why developers are targeting PlayStation, because you guys just literally in Digital Foundry. I'm glad you said that, Pastor Joe, because I want to play a clip from Digital Foundry in their own words. They're just going to tell you how you guys don't buy games, and I want you to listen.
Xbox customers are used to Game Pass, and they're used to the free models in a way that PlayStation customers maybe aren't, and that does condition them to spend less money on discrete games.
Ouch.
Let me play it again for you.
I also think that Xbox customers are used to Game Pass.
Okay, let me do that.
The free models in a way that PlayStation. I also think that Xbox customers are used to Game Pass, and they're used to the. And that does condition them to spend less money on discrete games.
One more time. Okay, so one more time.
I also think that Xbox customers are used to Game Pass, and they're used to the free models in a way that PlayStation customers maybe aren't, and that does condition them to spend less money on discrete games.
You guys are conditioned not to buy games. That's what Digital Foundry said. You guys are conditioned not to buy games. That's why you brag about games coming to Game Pass. But then when your hardware fails, in Microsoft giving your games to everybody because you guys didn't support them, what did you expect to happen?
Right. So let me address that. What it is he said is that he said he also thinks now. Digital Foundry. This is the opinion of one man, right?
No. You used IGN. You used IGN. That was the opinion of one man. So we're using Digital Foundry. All three of Digital Foundry guys said this exact same thing. You guys just don't buy games, so developers don't really see it enticing to spend the development costs to port it over to Xbox.
And this is what I'm saying. You guys defended the third-party thing too, saying they didn't need it, and that's why they bought ABK too.
Absolutely.
And this is what I'm saying, and here is where it is. I am in a dilemma, right? Because if you are saying that the Xbox community, they are conditioned to look at Game Pass.
You didn't.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
No,
they are conditioned.
They said you're conditioned not to buy games. You don't even. You guys don't even subscribe to your subscription service. We saw the numbers.
No problem. You said it was like 18 million and it came out to be 33 million, right?
Yeah, if you add all of the Xbox Live subscribers, if you combine them, that's what happened.
It'll be way more.
That's literally what happened.
We don't understand, right, Jadam? You are saying that Xbox gamers are conditioned because they have Game Pass. I understand that, right? However, here's the dilemma I have. PlayStation gamers are not conditioned to look to any service. So why are we seeing low sales in Rise of the Ronin? So much so that Koei Tecmo, who was looking for that game to sell 5 million, is back. They are restructuring their whole financial model because the game is not doing well. I thought you guys were.
So let me ask you. So are you saying one game? Hold on. Are you saying when it comes to PlayStation that one game not selling X amount of copies is Sony is Sony? No, it literally is what you said, because the Rise of Ronin sold more copies than any of its previous games. That's what Koei Tecmo said. They said wait, hold on. No. Hold on. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Koei Tecmo said Rise of Ronin sold more copies than any of its previous games.
Put that article up.
Okay, I will. Okay.
Rise of Ronin is a AA game. It's not going to sell 10 million.
Hold on. While I put it up, hold on, Pastor Joe. While I put it up, I just want to say another thing too. PlayStation exclusives tend to sell more than multiplats. If you take how many copies of, let's say, Final Fantasy, right? And then you take how many copies of Dragon's Dogma 2 are sold across PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and anything else, they only sold 2 million copies of that game. But Final Fantasy sold more copies than Dragon's Dogma. Matter of fact, Rise of Ronin and other Sony's partner third-party games and stuff and first-party games, they typically sell more than multiplats. We've seen Sony first-party games sell more copies than Street Fighter, sell more copies than X, Y, and Z. And I'm not picking on the game. What I'm saying is, why does PlayStation have to save the industry where it's like Xbox doesn't really have?
I am proving to you that PlayStation gamers don't buy games. Could you put up the quote where it is you are saying that the Rise of Ronin sold more than any game that
NPD disproves what you're saying now.
That Koei Tecmo said. Could you put up?
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Because you see, the audience don't believe you. The audience don't believe you,
Rise of Ronin's a double game. It's not AAA. That's where you're getting it. You're trying to compare it.
Listen to me.
Square Enix game that's AAA, and it sold more than that. That's what you don't get. It's not going to sell 10 million. It's a AA game.
It could be half of an A. It could be a common A. It doesn't matter. It's an exclusive belonging to Sony. J-Dub says that the Sony community, that the Sony community, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so
AAA. It could be a common A game. I want to see it sell. No, that is the argument.
And if that is the argument that J-Dub is making. If the devs are okay with the sales, then nothing you say matters. Because if the devs are okay with the sales and they made money, nothing you say matters. Because you're trying to compare it to AAA again.
Here's the thing. This is the one indisputable fact that Pastor has no comeback from.
Right.
PlayStation games sell more than any Xbox game. And it doesn't matter if it's indie, second party. Wait, hold on. It doesn't matter if it's indie, second party, third party, or first party. PlayStation gamers buy more games and they support more games. As a matter of fact, there's probably going to end up being more Sea of Thieves player on PlayStation than Xbox. And what does that say about Xbox, Pastor Joe? What does that say about you? What does that say about your community? Where Phil Spencer had to take your games and give it to us so they wouldn't die. What does that have to say about Xbox and you?
It has a lot to say about what it is Xbox wants as a company. Right now, we just saw that Sea of Thieves would have reached over 40 million. That's what I'm Pete.
Yeah.
40 million, right?
On PC.
That is not on J-Dub. Why do you should stop lying and pick up knitting or something, right? Because
no, I'm just saying.
Sea of Thieves player base has always been on PC. Don't even start that shit.
Only PC.
Yes. No. Listen, I didn't say it was only PC, but what I'm saying is
no.
Listen, majority of Xbox games are played on PC. Now, we know that there's more PC Game Pass subscribers than Xbox Game Pass subscribers. We know that for a fact because we saw the numbers. There was only 10 million Game Pass subscribers on console, and there was over 15 million on PC. So that's why I say that, because the numbers agree with me. They disagree with you, Pastor.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't, right?
You only have 25. You only have maybe 25 million Xbox Series X's and X's out in the wild, right?
Now, listen to what I'm saying, right?
No, I mean, listen to me. And these are next generation only games, so you can't say that you got more people playing it if you combine the last generation consoles, right? So I'm making a valid point, Pastor, and you need to answer to this.
You said that. I am happy you said that. But hear what, J-Dub? I love how you like to buck dance and sidestep. Could you put up where it is Koei Tecmo said that the rise
I'm doing it now. I don't want you to deflect. I don't want you to deflect. So that's why I asked you to answer the question.
You have one of the strongest desktops in this world, and you can't put up a screenshot as yet, J-Dub. Look how long I'm waiting for you to
do a fucking Google search, for Christ's sake.
Shut up, you potato. I wasn't speaking to you.
Oh my God.
Hey, Pastor, yes, why would you come on my channel and attack us?
I am not attacking.
I was nice enough to invite you. I was nice enough to invite you here on my Christian. This is my Christian Mingle podcast, and you come in. You're attacking us. I'm sorry, guy. I can't take this. I had to kick Pastor Joe. I had to kick Pastor Joe out. You see what happened? I try to be hospitable. I try to let the guy come into my domain, and he threatens us and he attacks us, and I don't understand. Pastor Joe, we're gonna pray for you, brother. You're supposed to be a pastor. Jesus. God. What are we doing? Why is he attacking us? Because we asked some basic questions. Heath, why would he attack you like that?
And he could do a Google search. That's what I don't get. Like, he acts like, oh, he knows. Well, fucking do a goddamn Google search. It takes 2 seconds if you're that worried about it.
Yeah, I'm glad, because we got the article here, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna Koei Tecmo. It's crazy.
And he was comparing it to Square Enix. The Final Fantasy, and that's a triple, and it's still sold good, because if they needed to meet a threshold, and if they met that, then they're happy, and it doesn't matter what pastor.
Exactly. Even if it did, I just don't know what the point is. So why does everything gotta be on the fucking back of PlayStation?
Okay, let me see. Let me read what you guys say. It says, the studio's previous game, Wulong Fallen Destiny, has sold around 1 million copies as of April 2023. Meanwhile, Koei Tecmo says Neo sold around 2.5 million copies, and there was 2 games in that series, Neo and Neo 2. So combined with those 2 games, that sold around 2.5 million copies. While the entire Ninja Gaiden series sold around 6.8 million copies. So if Koei Tecmo's complete Ninja Gaiden, right? We all remember Ninja Gaiden from back in the day. If combined, every single game they ever made only sold around 7 million copies, why would Pastor expect Rise of Ronin to sell 20 million copies? Like, that it literally makes no sense.
Unless you market it to do so.
Unless you market it to do that.
Like, to market a game like Spider-Man, it's amazing how much they have to fucking spend just to make that. So
do you know what it takes?
Even a fraction.
Yeah. Do you know what it takes for even Sony, right? To even their first party to sell 5, 6, 7 million copies? It takes a lot. You have to spend a lot of money. It's a lot. And then to think about it, like he said, the games didn't sell. The Final Fantasy Rebirth didn't sell as many as the Final Fantasy VII remake. Well, for one, remake has been on the market now for what, 3 years, 3-4 years since last generation. This game just dropped like 3 days into February the 29th, right? Literally a couple of months ago.
And
you're expecting the sales,
which is crazy.
You're expecting the sales for that. You're going to give that game 2 months, but give this other game 4 or 5 years. Like, that makes no sense. And granted, I'm just trying to humor Pastor Joe, right? I'm just trying to humor him. We don't really, we don't really believe what he's saying or whatever. We know it is what it is, but I'm trying to humor him.
It's a JRPG. There's the fact that they sell that much.
Absolutely.
In this day and age is kind of incredible, but again, it's like the money you got to spend.
But that goes to show you the mind of an Xbox guy, right? That can't take defeat. That they don't buy games. I guarantee you, Pastor Joe don't buy games. If a game don't come into Game Pass, he doesn't buy it. Shout out to my brother Doc Dark. I saw him say earlier today. I screenshotted and posted. We was poking fun of it, but he said he don't buy games. But guess what? He bought PlayStation games. He bought Helldivers and something else from PlayStation. But that tells you a lot. That tells you that Xbox guys are willing to buy PlayStation games, but they're unwilling to buy their own games.
Pastor, Digital Foundry just said it.
Told him to.
Phil,
he remember what Pastor Joe said when Digital Foundry said that. He started attacking the guy. Oh, well, that's just one guy's right. But then he goes and tells me about some guy from IGN that wrote an opinion piece. But it's okay for you to listen to that one guy.
Or from Windows Central, which we know is fluff pieces from Jez Gordon. Come on.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to understand the psychic behind an Xbox gamer like Pastor Joe.
They're pissed at the 30 FPS shit. That's what this is all about now.
The fact that Pastor Joe has a 6,000 gamer score on Xbox, but his PlayStation score is higher. The amount of games that he plays on PlayStation is higher. That speaks volume.
Well, listen, the guy on Digital Foundry just said he went to go look into like the sales of a fucking game, and he was seeing an Xbox game was like for this indie developer was getting like it was in the dozens.
Yeah.
So like, and we're talking about Rise of Ronin selling two fucking million. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? This thing, it was probably worse than that. It's probably like 12 copies that whatever game he fucking looked up.
Exactly. I just don't see. And here's the thing. People like Pastor Joe, now that Xbox is dead, they're going to go to PC and they're going to start the same argument all over again. I'm not arguing with these guys on the PC side because they're all disgruntled bots, right? I've fought with them for the last 5 years on the Xbox side. I am not arguing with these goofies from a PC perspective. For one, their PCs aren't better than mine. And for two, their arguments are like this, what we're talking about right now, right? They're asinine. They just make no sense. The fact that Phil Spencer, after he sat up in the courthouse and said that Sony uses third-party exclusives to make to kill Xbox, and he turned around and stuck all them Xbox games on PlayStation, means that either he was full of shit or they just gave up on Xbox. Yeah. I don't know which one it is, but
how about no console required too?
Absolutely.
That's a major fail.
Absolutely. They spent a lot
saying shit like that. That's not a good tagline,
Yeah.
What is the message it sends subconsciously to the customer?
Yeah.
Automatically. Like if you imagine you're a fucking Xbox guy, you just spent like $500 on your whatever, and you're looking at the thing and it's showing all your shit, Halo, and then you see at the bottom, console not required. It's like, what?
Well, let me ask you this, right? They've spent this generation.
They're telling you not to buy their shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I was gonna say. You could make a better case, Pastor, that Xbox fucked up the whole industry with this mentality, not just Xbox.
That's true.
Because if you're saying fucking Rise of Ronin, why did Rise of Ronin didn't make these sales? Why did this game not make these sales on PlayStation? Well, maybe that Phil shit had an effect over on the other side too.
Well, what does that say about Dragon's Dogma? What does that say about Dragon's Dogma? It's on every platform and it only sold 2 million copies. I'm just asking, why is the standard bearer for Xbox gamers so high when it comes to PlayStation, but it's extremely low when it comes to Xbox? PlayStation games have to sell 25 million copies to get credit, whereas Xbox games literally, look at fucking Redfall, right? They still they'll look you in your face. 5 million
monthly active users and act like that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
We found out that there was more people playing. What was that game? There was only like 9 people playing. What was it? I'm trying to see what game it was. It was some game. It was like Bleeding Edge or some shit. It had 2 more gamers playing it than fucking Redfall. And I'm trying to understand, why does the Xbox guy not talk to that? Why does Pastor not speak to that?
Well, yeah. Well, I think part of it is it's a subculture born partially out of the PlayStation hater, which is just a kind of gamer that always looked at PlayStation as inaccessible to them. Yeah. Because it is pricey, and the price doesn't go down for quite a while, and you might not be able to opt in until the next console comes out, and then you can get old shit. So yeah, I think it's that. It's but it's PlayStation haters, and
yeah, you're right. None of us can say what if a game flopped or not unless the developer tell you what they were targeting, if they meet their projection, what they were targeting.
Yep.
If Rise of Ronin, I'm pretty sure Rise of Ronin, let's say Rise of Ronin cost $10 million to make. If they made their $10 million back and everything is to the good, that was a success for them.
If they sell 1 million, that covers it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's a double-A game, and they're a double-A studio. They don't have 300 developers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're way smaller studios.
No, listen, I know that. You know that. But it's like PlayStation has to save the industry. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why can't Xbox save the industry?
I know. Xbox doesn't put any fucking marketing into any of their games. What are you talking about?
Xbox hasn't released a game this year. In all of 2024, they haven't released a single game. But Pastor Joe and people like him, they don't care. And this is what I'm afraid is going to happen. And mark my words, it's going to happen. Levon, remember this day and remember this moment. These Xbox dudes, they won't just go quiet into the night, right? They just won't walk around and walk off and pout. They will do everything they can, right? They'll still stay around in gaming, but all that they're gonna do is bring up bad Sony news and they get on the chats and YouTube and Twitter and everything, and they're just gonna slander. They're just gonna slander Nintendo and Sony shit.
Well, it's already that.
Yeah.
It's already that. Like I said, I think that's
because think about it. All this shit now is because of this 30 FPS shit, because that's what everybody's talking about is the Microsoft 30 FPS games, because they can't run. And why is the Series X running 30 FPS when PC's running 60 and up? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, a lot of it doesn't hold up to logic. I mean,
well, just the mere fact all their games are stuck at 30 frames a second is crazy. And I want to play you guys another clip. This is also from Digital Foundry. While we're talking, while we're talking about it,
is reporting that some third-party publishers are considering.
This is where third-party publishers are talking about not making games for Xbox.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah. I got this one video though from them that we kind of brought up briefly, but we want to talk. We want to hear this one.
I think Sony's actually set a good precedent this gen. They have stuck with in-house technology, and looking at it, it seems as if every single first-party game they've shipped on PS5 runs at 60 frames per second, or has a mode that's 60, and some go above that even. So I have to give them credit to that. That sets a pretty great precedent.
Right.
we haven't seen that on the Xbox. Most developers have opted not to take that approach. And I think the thing about Hellblade 2 that we need to realize is
shout out to my brother Doc Dark, man. He told me to stop crying. He said Sony is doing great on PC. Hey Doc, shout out to you, Doc Dark. I played that for you, brother. Digital Foundry finally came out and said that all PlayStation games are 60 frames and all Xbox games are stuck at 30. And salute to you, brother. You saw the writing on the wall. You went out and bought your PC, as you should. You know, I probably would do this. You know,
what they said 2 years ago, though.
No, absolutely.
They said it was going to be the exact opposite.
Yep. They said that the variable clocks.
Yeah. So did Xbox. They were the ones that kind of just shot off and were saying that and promising that. I don't did
what the
Sony
fuck happened to that machine learning? That's what I want to know.
We just assumed they'd have the modes.
No. PlayStation never promised that. The only thing it was the 8K that was on the box. That's the only thing that really. But yeah, they never promised anything.
Their mouth shut about it.
Well, and technically, Sony does have one 8K game according to Digital Foundry. We got the video.
The Tourist.
It runs at 8K on PS5, and it runs at 6K on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, Switch game running in 8K. So
yeah.
You know what Pastor would say? He would say, "Well, what about the VR?" No, that's what Ricky would say. He would say, "But the PSVR does. What does that run?"
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be honest. I think if we all reverse back to 2020, before these consoles launched, right before it launched, it would have been impossible for you to convince anybody that 3 years into this generation, Xbox would have given up and put their games on PlayStation and move in that particular direction. That I think we would have all been like, nah, Xbox got the world's most powerful console. They're gonna do X, Y, and Z.
Gonna be the best place to play multi-plats and
yes, because that's what guys said all last generation. Remember, it was the Xbox is the I only play multiplats. I don't really play exclusives like
people
that.
People play the exclusives on the PlayStation 4.
And now this generation, PlayStation is the best place to play multiplats. Now dudes said, "Oh, I don't really play multiplats. It's really about my exclusives, and I only play Halo." And you know they're finding excuses to hold on to that dog shit Xbox. And I get it, man. You spend $500 of your hard-earned money on it. You want to see the promise fulfilled. And so I'm gonna be honest. They already 3 years in this generation. The Xbox is already talking about another moving on to the next generation. Good riddance. There is literally no reason for anybody to buy a new Xbox console ever again. Go get you a PC. Keep your PS5 on deck. Get you a Switch for their exclusives and for the portability, and move on. Move on with your life.
They got you covered if you got a library, though.
Yeah, listen. Even if
Microsoft is
exactly. Exactly. Your digital library.
You just moved to PC though. You just moved to PC.
Big enough to where you're never gonna have to worry about. You're not gonna have access to this.
Wait. We got a question from the chat. My brother Doctor, he said, "Can I ask the honest question? Not on some troll stuff. Does it really upset anybody what Sony is doing with Ghost of Tsushima on PC and trophies, or do y'all don't care?" I'm gonna be honest, we really don't care.
I think it's actually a good option if you like playing.
I've said that
on PC,
because here's the thing. If I already own these games on my PS5, right? Like I just bought Horizon for Forbidden West on PC. I just bought it on PC. Of course, I've already beat the game. I already beat Burning Shores and stuff on my PS5, but I did want to see how much better would it look on the PC and that, and so I did that. And I'll be honest, they did a fucking hell of a job on PS5 because it is not.
Did you see the Ghost of Tsushima requirements?
Yeah, I saw that.
The PS5 equivalent, you have to have a 4080.
Yeah.
If you want to get PS5 equivalent out of Ghost of Tsushima, you need like an 11th gen Intel and a fucking 4080.
Well, this is I'm gonna be honest. This is what most PC gamers won't admit, And it's that the reason why console is so good is because those developers can optimize for just one system and make sure that that shit looks good and it runs good. With PC, it's a crapshoot. You don't know if the port's going to be good, bad. You don't know if you're going to have to wait or not. You just never know. Plus, most people do not have a high-end gaming rig. They don't have a 40 series graphics card. Most of them don't have a 30 series or even a 20 series. According to Steam, the average high-end gamer games on a 1060, a GTX 1060. So I'm going to be honest, Doc, to answer your question, we really don't give a shit. We really don't care. As long as our single player, story driven, exclusive first party games don't go day and date, we fine.
Yeah,
the services shit, we don't care. It can go to PC because this is a service game,
we
right?
don't care about that. And old games, the
old games like Ghost of Tsushima has been out for 4 years. Like, why the fuck hasn't it been to PC 2 years ago? Like, that shit could have been that shit could have went to PC. That doesn't affect us. We know we're about to get Ghost of Tsushima 2, the sequel. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna be honest. The moment the moment Sony says that they have a first party single player story driven game going date to PC, then that's when you're gonna see all the ponies jumping on. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Yep. You do have your diehards, right? You do have your diehards that they just don't like the direction that Sony's been moving. They don't like the PC. They don't want games to ever go to PC. They hate PC gamers, right? they literally do. But those are a handful of people, right? We don't those are a handful of people, right? We got the game day one. We got to beat it. Matter of fact, we got to beat it on PS4, and we got the updates for PS5. So we're okay, right? It's only so much so much blood you can squeeze out of the turnip, you know what I'm saying? That's not what really worries majority of PlayStation gamers. PlayStation gamers, they will kill you about their single player story driven games. Like The Last of Us, your God of Wars and stuff like that. Nuh-uh. We hold those games near and dear to our hearts. And so we're going to fight like crazy to keep them on our platform for at least a year or two, right? We do not want that going day and date. Because I'll be honest, if they offered it day and date, then I'm gonna start looking at getting the PC version. Not only can I get it cheaper, but now you're gonna tell me we'll get trophy support and stuff. Hey, that's hey.
One day they'll be able to make that work too without taking the focus off the fucking. Because that's, I think, deep down, a lot of fucking gamers know that.
Yeah. Well, with a lot of people
focused on that fucking console,
absolutely,
to get fucking bullshit and
absolutely,
you don't get the focus anymore.
Well, and there's a reason, because I heard somebody say this earlier.
Make it work, fucking go for it. But I don't think right now they can do it.
Well, we saw that it didn't work for Xbox, right? And so there's your proof right there. So that's one reason why Sean Layton said Sony would never do day and date. They're never going to do day and date. Because they don't want to trade a PC gamer, a PlayStation gamer for a PC gamer. Because PlayStation dudes, for one, they spend money on PlayStation Plus, which is service, that's money. They spend $70 for the game, that's money. Dudes on PC generally pirate games, or they buy it $20, $30, they get it real cheaper and stuff. So Sony would lose money across the board. This is why, right? It only makes sense for services games to go day and date. And I'm gonna be honest, so far, there hasn't been any day and date PC games with PlayStation first party PC games.
No,
so
not yet, because the multiplayer ones have all been third party right now.
Exactly,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
But none of their first party have come out with a multiplayer until the next Destiny.
Yeah, but see,
what Marathon's multiplayer anyway.
Yeah, a service game, right? Mm-hmm. It will live and breathe and die on a large install base. You can't have that exclusive, right? Yeah. You need more people to be in there. So that's what it makes sense for that. So I think like Marathon and Destiny, right? Like, it would have been dumb for Sony to buy Bungie and then made Destiny 2
make them exclusive
because you're gonna miss 40 million other people who can't have access to the game. And some people might say, but what about single player games? Well, guess what? Your single player games is what draws you in. That's what your hardcore is. That's your base. There was 30 million copies of The Last of Us sold. There was how many? 35 million of Spider-Man sold. Those are single player games. Those were only on PlayStation at the time that they counted the numbers. So you can still make your money and thrive with your single player game. That is the reason why people go out and buy a PlayStation 5. If you remove that barrier, then guess what? Bye-bye PS5. This is why Xbox is in the position that it's in now. If they removed the $500 barrier and the $300 barrier. So therefore, a lot of people decide, shit, I could just give me a PC. Or now, shit, I could just buy me a PlayStation and play Sea of Thieves on there. Or play this on there. I'm going to be honest. I'm a Sea of Thieves guy. I played it. I was on PlayStation playing it, right? That was my main staple for playing that particular game, was on my Xbox. The moment they announced it, the moment that they announced it for PS5, I never had to boot up my Xbox ever again. So it launches next week. And all of my progress and everything carries over. You can forget it. There is no reason for me to have an Xbox ever. You're gonna tell me, but what about Blade? Well, guess what? Blade is on my PS5. It'll eventually come to PS5, or it's on my PC. I got a PC with a 4090.
The fact that they entertained us, these 4 games, like,
yes,
like it kind of makes you wonder, like,
and they're selling well.
Should I buy the next Xbox still?
Well, yeah. How are they gonna? Listen, Levon, how are they going to get you to spend another $500? How?
How are they going to market this thing? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't think it's going to be $500. I think it's going to be under $200.
Yeah, me too.
It has to be really cheap.
If it's that cloud hybrid shit, it's going to be under $200. It's going to be cheap.
My guess was three or under. That's about it.
If y'all can't hit that like button,
hit that like button, y'all. Hit that notification bell so that we can see more of Jado's videos and live streams.
Think about it. Play anywhere. That that day and date. You don't need a console to play with your friends. If you're gonna tell people that shit, or don't buy games, get them on. If you tell your customers to do that, that's what they're gonna do.
What if it's a handheld, Heath? What if it's a handheld?
But I don't think they're. Even if they do, like, what's it really gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? The most handhelds sold total, the total of all the handhelds
like
that are
3
on
million
PCs
copies,
is like 3 million.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
They're not gonna go into that, because think about it. Why would you? Whenever you can make an app and put it on the iOS store and the Android store, and you reach everybody already. That's what they're gonna do.
And Levon, here's the thing, Levon. Now, I own the Logitech G Cloud. I own the Steam Deck. I own the Asus ROG Ally. So my whole thing is, if people didn't gravitate to those things to play their Xbox games, why would they go out and buy an Xbox branded handheld? Like, what is going to be the difference? I've already spent $700 on these devices each. Why would I go out and buy anything that's marketed by Xbox after they done sold me a $500 world's most powerful console that didn't live up to expectation?
Well, if they don't want to deal with Windows.
You think about it. You already have access to all the stores.
They
Epic,
made Windows.
Steam, all that shit.
And even if they make their own UI, a new UI, right? It's going to be allowed on your Steam Deck. It's going to be allowed on. They're not just going to make it exclusive to their. That's not what Microsoft does anymore. That exclusive shit is out the door. They've given up on that. So clearly,
Epic doesn't have a console mode yet. They don't have enough people to justify it yet.
Exactly. So I'm gonna be honest. It's still a hard sell. I have a Logitech G Cloud that's exclusively for my Game Pass games, and I'm
why do that? Why do that?
It works well, but what doesn't work well is xCloud. Most of them games are still 720p, sub 1080p. They still work horribly. It's still not. It's for PlayStation to come and surpass them even after they have their own data center and tech. That shit crazy.
Why would they do that if they can take the same shit that they're doing for their AI cloud infrastructure, cut it down and put it in a controller, or make a, like Buck said, under $300 device? That's what they're going to do, because it doesn't take any more R&D.
If they sell you a controller
for making a console is gone.
If they sell you a controller, right, that had the tech in it, while you just walk up to your TV, press the Xbox button, and you already logged into your shit, I'm gonna be honest, that would be pretty dope. I think that's the direction they need to go in, because the controller would be cheap, right? It's not gonna cost $500. If they can make the tech work and it's there, I'm gonna be honest, it's better than trying to convince me to spend $500 again for something that I know you're gonna fail.
Or to make a handheld.
Yeah.
Because think about it,
they're gonna have to compete against. I hate to say it, they're gonna have to compete against Steam Deck and Ace. These guys are already in the game. They know what it, and then the fact that Sony, right, has their Portal, and then I think they're going. That's the Q Lite, and then obviously they're gonna have not the Lite but the full.
I heard the PS6 is supposed to have a handheld version as well.
I did hear
that.
They might.
Yeah.
So that you could take all your games on the go and shit. Yeah, that'd be smart.
I listen. The reason I'm going to shut up on that is because I never thought we would get a PS5 Pro. We're getting one. I never thought we would get a PlayStation Portal, and guess what? I got it. So I'm losing here when it comes to betting against Sony doing something. So I'm gonna just ride it out and say, I can't really say at this point, because I never
wait and see.
Because I was told that Sony was going broke, that they didn't have the money to make all of this shit. They got VR out here.
Now they're gonna
they got headset,
Paramount.
monitor. Now they finna buy Paramount, and they're gonna own the rights to fucking the Halo movie franchise and other stuff. Like, that's crazy. I thought Sony was broke, though. That's all I kept hearing. But Sony's coming out with all these handhelds, and they got all this hardware out. Buck, what do you think about that, brother?
What about them going out?
About I know, right? I was told Sony was going broke, and they was going out of business.
I didn't know. I didn't hear about the handheld thing. So
there's rumors of like the PS6 is supposed to have like a handheld, and also the traditional AMD home console.
Yeah, they've already they've already signed the contracts to be a long-term partner with AMD. Microsoft hasn't signed contracts with AMD. They're looking to partner with Intel.
Use NVIDIA or something.
Why?
Intel.
Because think about it, they help their engineers. Some of the shit that's in the future RDNA shit is from PlayStation. That's why. You know what I mean? That's how they.
Yeah. Because remember, Mark Cerny said, if any of this technology I'm telling you today ends up on PC, it's because of the partnership and the work that we did with PS5.
If PlayStation's upscaling is good, it could be a standard. Because so many people use it that it could be another way for the consoles to.
But Heat, do you think that because it'll be proprietary Sony technology, do you think Sony is like, nope, you got to come up with your own? We're only using this for our systems. We're not going to allow
Why
anybody
not license it out? If you can license it out, who gives a fuck?
Well,
if it works and it makes and it's going to make those games easier to get to wherever, you know what I mean? Because it becomes a standard, then fuck it. You know what I mean? Because if that ray tracing shit is that much better for the devs to be able to do the illumination and all that, that saves a lot of time and shit, man. And if you can do that, that saves buku bucks.
Hey, look, Gaming Addict is in the chat right now. What's up, Gaming Addict? What's up? This is Levon here.
Addict, what's good, my brother?
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
He said you still running from King.
Oh man, hey, listen, man, I don't want no smoke with King, brother. No smoke at all. He's the captain. He's the leader, the president of PlayStation now. I think he's running for the CEO of PlayStation.
You know, I always thought Sony made good handhelds.
Yeah, I think so
they
too.
They
fucked up with the Vita,
they only fucked
really
up with the proprietary storage shit. That's the only thing.
I still love the fucking PSP. I think that's.
But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anybody has solved the problem, the whole copy shit, because dudes were already copying Switch games. I mean, it is a problem. How do you stop? How do you solve that problem? I just don't know.
I think the DRM has come a long way. First of all, you got your downloading.
What are you talking about? They just cracked. What was the game that they cracked in less than 10 minutes? You remember that, Levon?
Yeah.
The new game that came out, they cracked that shit in less than 10 minutes. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but they have services now that where the always online thing. Nobody really bats an eye about that. So that's one thing.
That stops it. Yeah.
There's like flashcards now.
Hey, Addict, I'm live now, so I can't. I'm live now on my own stuff, so I can't go over there. Go ahead.
Yeah, if they have a new system, I mean, obviously they would just do some new.
I think they just need to improve their security for their next gen Switch, if anything.
Yeah,
cloud has come a long way, and then of course these.
And they need to put chat in there and everything.
Yeah, I think Nintendo partnering with Nvidia is an exclusive thing. I don't think any of the other guys want to go there. It's just going to cost too much money.
That's good.
But I also see Sony again have an exclusive deal with AMD where Microsoft is going to go with Intel.
Hey, PlayStation pulled that smart shift. That's from the AMD laptop shit.
No,
That's
absolutely.
why they used it because think about it. It's actually really smart if you think about it because you're only going to max out one or the other.
Yeah,
because most
games
power to one side or the other.
Absolutely. most games are either GPU heavy or they're CPU. It's very rare that you see no game is both.
That's what happens. So shift the power over to whatever needs it so you get the little bit bump in performance that you need so it can run smooth. That's all it pretty much does.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be weird watching Microsoft move the way that they're moving, knowing that all of their games are going everywhere. Now that you've put your games everywhere, what incentive is people like? You don't really make good hardware like that. Like you're not known for making good hardware. You're known for
what about software? Do they make good software?
But
think about how much it changed they have in the first 4 months of this year. Think about how much this has changed. Their whole thing since take 6 months ago, the way they were talking till now. Now, what's it going to be like this holiday season going into next year? Like it's going to be so great.
This is going to be the kill. This is going to be the headshot, right? This is going to be the double tap. When that fucking PS5 Pro drop, and Sony has the world's most powerful console showing off Ghost of Tsushima 2 or whatever it is that they're going to show off, right? Just having a trailer, an updated trailer with Grand Theft Auto 6 saying running on the PS5.
Or a Gears collection, because you know it's coming.
The Marcus Phoenix collection, that's going to be crazy.
You know it's coming.
Listen, all of these Xbox games already run better on the fucking PlayStation than they did on the Xbox anyway, so imagine that Pro being out there. That's going to be fucking nuts.
What do you think the second batch of games is going to be for
this fall?
This whole Xbox
this year?
Well, yeah, it'll be this fall. I was told potentially Starfield, potentially Gears.
What about Flight Simulator?
That too. Here's the thing.
Yeah, and it's coming VR.
If
too,
that, and with VR, so that's going to be. I ain't gonna lie. That's
this is just speculation, guys.
They might be announcing that at Summer Game Fest, from what the rumors were.
We're just speculating, by the way, Chad. We're just speculating.
Yeah. All speculation until they say it, but I'm being told
Flight Sim might be announced this summer with VR on PS5.
Yeah, Liquidator. That's a smart idea. He said just make the PS6 with the Portal as a controller. Hey, do you remember the last 2 PlayStations? The mock-ups of them, the renderings mock-ups, always had the controller with the screen on it. Like that, it's just
reminds you of a Wii U kind of a little bit, Dreamcast a little bit.
Yeah. They Dreamcast was the first to do it, but I'm gonna be honest. Dreamcast was ahead of its time. If they would have waited 2 or 3 years to launch that, it would have been it would have been successful. But you know, it's just like even Microsoft. They're ahead of the game on a lot of shit. Like even the always online
they don't
shit.
Stick with it long enough. They
got like shit for it
too early for some of the stuff.
And then people say, "Oh, well, back in 2013." When Microsoft, I was like, yeah, but it was bad timing, man. Like it's just ultimately,
and they didn't keep up with it, just like the cloud shit. There's no way PlayStation should be ahead of them in the cloud when they own the fucking data centers and they can write some of the best back-end software in the world. Like, come on.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If Flight Simulator come to PS5 in VR, god damn, that's fucked up. I'm just saying, from a console boy perspective, from a console fanboy perspective, that's fucked up. Not only are they getting the what up?
What about the Playground dev that just left and created a new studio and is making a PS5 game?
Yeah, that's
and how many people did he take from Playground with him because he was one of the original guys?
Yep, that's crazy. I forgot. I heard that. Well, of course, we all know the story with the whole Bethesda thing. Starfield was being made for a multi-plat, and allegedly Phil went in and said, "Hey, stop producing it for the PS5." Well, allegedly, that wasn't the case. He didn't stop them from making it. He just said that they weren't going to launch it at that time. It was going to be time exclusive, or they would launch it at a later date. So the game was still being made. They didn't, like some people, they didn't just fucking stop, took all the code from PS5 and just throw that shit away and trash it. That's not what they did.
They set it aside to finish it later or whatever, or they put a small team on it to continue working on it.
Yeah, so I can see that game being announced this fall, or something like that. But here's the bigger thing: Microsoft showed a shitload of games. Where are these games?
Okay, here's what they're doing. This is all fucking set up to go perfectly with the way they're even saying they're gonna set up to like start their shit early with 2026, right? They're stalling until then. They're gonna have that. They're gonna have whatever their fucking bullshit they put out, their hybrid, right, for the lower tier.
Holding shit back.
But the main fucking console, I'm telling you guys, is the fucking PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be getting behind that. So they're gonna. So then the year after the Pro comes out, that's gonna be like probably when you'll see all their shit, basically. At that point, everything will be ready. Think about it. I mean, doesn't it make more sense to get back? What's the fucking most poppin' fucking console out there?
Yes, the Switch and PlayStation. Yeah.
Fucking put them on PlayStation. You're gonna fucking
PlayStation and the Switch. Yeah, you'll sell more.
Yeah. And they'll have a vested interest in the PlayStation 5 Pro selling a lot of fucking units.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to launch them like day and date on PS5 Pro. You know what I mean? Like there won't be any delay.
PS5 Pro enhanced?
Oh yeah, definitely. They sent devs over. They sent a team over to help them with Sea of Thieves and shit like that to get the haptics and to get the performance good. Like that's a known thing. Like they sent teams over to help.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
So right there shows you that it's changed. They sent a team to help make the performance better on PS5. So right there, that's a big change.
I think shit has been in the works long enough to where it's gonna look crazy, but it's gonna happen a lot faster than maybe we actually would think.
Yeah, now
2 years. It's gonna. I think the whole. Why not? Why not just be behind that? You can still cap for your fucking Xbox by getting the whatever they put out, or you want the where they're putting most of the energy probably just fucking get the PlayStation or go
Yeah,
on
where
PC.
where
Like,
the
they want you to
cells
go on
are.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did
because
y'all?
that's
I
where
mean,
the cells are. PC and PlayStation.
did y'all think it would be like this generation? Because all I keep
No.
hearing from my brother Poster
No,
is that I told y'all, you know, and it's like, well, I don't think you told us this. It would be like this, brother.
I didn't think, you know, these games would come on PlayStation. I didn't think that. Absolutely not. No.
And what the fuck is he talking about? They all argued with us that Microsoft was going third party. They all argued with us, J-Dub. Every one of them. All of them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't think Microsoft would put these games on PlayStation. No.
I didn't either. Not like this. Jesus.
Well, no. Well, we were told that. I mean, the goal was to fucking be dominating with this fucking Game Pass model, and everybody was gonna want a fucking Xbox because this is the new fucking model everybody's moving to.
Yeah, this is the wave. This is the future. This is the wave.
You can't say that they've met that expectation. And everybody,
yeah, but people still want to buy games. That's their whole problem. They try to make people buy a subscription, and people don't want to. You can't force them. You know what I mean?
Even Digital Foundries, the official, fuck all the fanboy shit. Well, I mean, we know that they were doing the fanboy shit too, but it's a little bit more official than the bots, I guess.
Professionalism.
Yeah. Like going by what they were fucking saying that Microsoft was gonna do, and I think this is gonna make this happen in the industry, and that shit.
Well,
that shit
yeah,
passed,
and here's the thing: they sat around talking about how the whole industry is doing X, Y, and Z, and everybody, the industry is going this way. No, the whole industry isn't going that way. The only thing that's going that way is fucking Microsoft and Xbox.
Yeah, the fucking industry's still doing exactly what it always has. It hasn't changed, really.
What is it exactly that he said that he told us that they're gonna do? Oh, you mean more recent shit, like that they're gonna what?
You could just name it. I'm gonna be honest. You could just name it.
Are they saying they're gonna dominate?
He's trying to take credit for shit that he never said that other people actually said. That's what's going on. Yeah. Because think about it, him and all the other Xbox guys denied it. We've been saying this shit for years. You guys stand up, you're gonna lose your console. Oh, you guys are crazy. They all said it. Every one of them. Mello, Post, everybody.
Well, apparently, they still believe it. They still believe that Xbox is, going to come out with a new console that's going to save the day in 2026 and cut this generation, cut their losses short or whatever.
Yeah, make it like a 360 type of thing. Come out like I think like PS6 is supposed to come out 2028, I believe.
Yeah. So Levon, let me ask you this:
okay.
If the PS5 Pro come out this year,
okay, sure,
and the new Xbox, whatever it is, comes out in 2026, that's a year difference between them, right? So yeah, depending on when they launch, a year to two difference between them.
Yeah.
How, I'm gonna be honest. Do you think that PS5 Pro has a chance to outdo that? Because I've always said that, man. Like, they can't do a straight. They've had 6 T-flops last gen, and they got beat by a 4.2 T-flop. They had 12.4 this gen, that got beat by a fucking 9 to 10 T-flop. So I just don't, and that PS5 Pro is supposed to be a 36 T-flop system.
I think the PS5 Pro version will look good enough for people. I can see people saying that.
Because of the games, right? It's all about the games. It's not about the hardware. You don't think that the new God of War or the new Horizon or the new whatever, even Death Stranding 2, even Digital Foundry was like, it's the best looking game that they've seen. Can you imagine that running on the PS5 Pro?
Just personally. I'm not a graphics guy, but I look at the Death Stranding 2, and that's the only one that has made me look like, oh, this is like a new generation kind of.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The first one that I've looked at where I'm like, okay, we're definitely.
Yeah.
Like at this point, let's say if the next Xbox came out in 2026, you know, it looks a bit better than say the PS5 Pro. Like I'm thinking to myself, will that even matter that much to people?
Or I don't think it's going to look better.
Well, yeah. How is it going to look better? Because you got to get developers. You got to get developers to make the Xbox the main platform. No, you got to get developers to make that Xbox the lead platform. Good luck getting a developer to make that the lead platform when the install base is on the side of PlayStation. That's the problem that Xbox is still going to run into. In their first party has proven that
they get rid of day and date and go back to sales. That'd be the only way. You know what I mean? You have to prioritize sales to be able to do.
But here's the thing: if they did that, right? If they got rid of day and date, what incentive is it for a Xbox gamer to go and sign up for Game Pass?
You lose all the subscribers.
You lose the reason why, right? So you
basically that's Xbox. You know, going back to the traditional matter,
absolutely,
traditional model, basically, yeah,
absolutely.
That's why the cheap little hybrid thing fucking kind of makes sense because they can still give that. They can have their cake and eat it too.
Well, like Neil said, he said there won't be another Xbox. It'll be a stick, a streaming stick. And listen, that streaming stick that they talked about a couple of years ago, they were trying to get the price to $99 or whatever. That could be a thing, guys. That could actually be a thing.
Yeah.
So what about the whole, you know, OEMs, you know, running multiple Xbox? Do you see that as a thing?
They could still do that, but I'm gonna be honest. That's all the risk is gonna be on those OEMs. Look at Asus, right? Look what they did with the ROG Ally. Look at MSI with the Claw. Look at some of the other people. What's the other one that's out there? The Lenovo. Look at the Lenovo, right?
They're all sold off, and now Asus owns it.
Yeah. So think about that, right? Like, that's a big investment for somebody to put in for something that we found out there was only like 500,000 ROG Allies sold. There was only 2 to 3 million Steam
decks. With the MSI Claw.
Yeah, the Claw is not really, you know, it didn't really do any major numbers or whatever with pre-sales. So I'm gonna be honest, like I just don't see people saying, "Hey, let me pick up a Lenovo Xbox." Like, nah. And see, here's the thing: Xbox never had a hardware problem. It was always the software. They need games, and the games they need to show off the power of the hardware, and they just it's impossible to have that with their particular model. You're not going to get that in a Game Pass, a cheap subscription model. You're not going to get that.
2 will be that solution?
No, and I'm going to tell you why.
You know what's going to be the solution? PlayStation 5.
Like when that shit comes to PlayStation.
Oh my God.
They'll all have the incentive to make them look good because that's
flipping, my brother.
Really well. No fucking PlayStation.
Yeah. Hey, so while we're on the topic, Flippin said, he said, "Hey, J-Dub, what's good? What's your thoughts on the Xbox handheld?" My thoughts on that handheld is you're gonna sell a few copies, but you're gonna be the last person on the block, right? If Steam Deck, the most popular one, only sold 3 million copies, Xbox, they may be able to sell.
I think it'll outsell the Steam Deck, but not the Switch.
I don't think so. Okay. You'll get some fanboys, the hardcore, but they're still stuck, right? You still stuck with, okay, the developer's gonna say, now this is another fucking platform that I gotta develop for. I don't want to develop for the 2 that I have now. You see what I'm saying? They're running into the same problem. Well, this is a software problem, but you're trying to fix it with more hardware. Xbox doesn't have a power problem. They have a games problem. Well, I've always said, if you took the hardware that Xbox have and give it to PlayStation developers, they will fucking make that shit sing. They will make that shit look like a fucking 4090.
That's a fact.
So imagine giving those PlayStation first-party devs and third-party devs a fucking 36 T-flop PS5 Pro. That's just gonna be it's over. There is nothing Microsoft can do to stop that. It's inevitable. Even if you do launch a system and Now we are making an assumption.
We're
but
making an assumption that
Well,
they're
speculation. This is speculation,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
This
it
all
is.
to even develop for it. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Letterbox
they-
said, I see Starfield coming to PS5 this November. I'm going to be honest. A lot of credible sources have said that
Could
game
be.
is a lot closer than what we think it is.
It's going to be this later this year?
I think it's going to come this year.
They're
Can
probably
you-
going to
can
do
you-
it when
can you imagine,
when they
Levon,
do the big update. For
If they
mods,
launch,
think about it. That's when-
Starfield 60 frame on the PS5 Pro, right? If they launch it like as a launch title, oh my god! What do you think the conversation would be then, Levon?
Jesus Christ. God damn.
Starfield,
They found
Starfield
the tools.
on the box.
They found them PS5 tools, though. They were able to find that, but them Xbox, though, they couldn't find. Oh my god!
They would rage. Ain't gonna lie, they'd be mad, man.
Yeah, they would be mad. Oh,
Hey, you know what's crazy? They got 60 frames without needing a new CPU. Because that's the new that's the new hating side of the PS5
the
Pro.
10% increase of the CPU. Yeah,
the CPU. It's a shit CPU. It's like, all right, cool. All right, we're gonna see. Y'all doubted Mark Cerny the first time, and y'all ain't learned. They just don't learn from their mistakes.
Getting it on it. It's just like a matter of not wanting to.
Yeah,
that's what I always say. I don't know why people even bother with that, but it's just obvious they didn't put the features in there. It's not that the fucking Series X can't fucking do it. Come on.
Yep. It's I'm gonna be honest, man. It's because you remember Todd Howard and them said, yeah, we had the game running at we got it can hit 60 frames right now. We want to do X, Y, and Z. They just kept coming up with all these excuses, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's his vision. It's his vision.
Dude, just lock the bitch at 40 frames and enable VRR, and there you go. Like, stop the cap.
Well, no, it's all that shit that you can have 1,500 sandwiches in.
That's
your
bullshit.
Cockpit and all that bullshit that nobody cares about.
I'm calling bullshit.
Well, no, because that takes a lot of memory to be able to locate that within the world and shit, and then it goes off of your.
But you got an SSD,
like position.
Use the velocity engine, right?
But no. Their engine is the old style, and it goes off of the point of the player. So the further you get away from that point, that's like Minecraft with the far regions. Wow, it would fuck up. That was like the same kind of.
Here's my thing, Heath. You already got loading screens in the game, right? You already got not a single next generation feature, no instant loading, no 3D audio, no nothing, right? Like you couldn't even you didn't give us no performance mode, and now that the excuse is, oh, it's an old engine. Didn't you tell us this game was built from the ground up? Didn't they tell us this game was built from the ground up for the Series X? What the fuck?
Actually, it was built for the S. It wasn't built for the X. And their engine was, you know what I mean? Their engine is just dog shit. But they took the Gore system out because in Fallout 4, if you look at that shit, the VAT system, when you would go in that slow-mo, you'd blow people's heads off and arms and shit. That's not in Starfield. That's not in the engine anymore.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
The modders aren't doing anything with Starfield either.
Yeah, you remember they said that
anything to do with it.
They said, "Oh, we ain't worried. The modders will fix it."
And they're not, because they don't even have the modding tools out yet. They haven't put them out to the community. When usually that shit's out like the day the game launches, so that the modders can get going. You know what I mean? But there's nothing. Even the guy who did the multiplayer mod for Skyrim and Fallout, he gave up the code and said, anybody wants to do it, go ahead. So that tells you that the modders are even walking away from it.
That's crazy, man. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to say about Xbox anymore. I think, it's a wrap when it comes to the hardware, but then people are saying that they're gonna put out more hardware, and I'm like, why? People didn't support the current hardware. You have 3-year-old boxes sitting on the shelves right now, motherfuckers won't buy. Now you're gonna tell me, hey, we're gonna cut this shit short in 3 years,
go to
and then
the
just,
next generation.
Yeah, like that's fucking crazy. By that time,
two
right?
generations
PS5,
back to back, you quit. They quit 2 generations back to back before the gen was
basically, that's crazy, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest. They may need to license the name out of the. I'm gonna be honest. Just change the name. Just don't call it Xbox anymore. I think the name Xbox is damaged beyond repair. Find a new name. To do something different, man. Like I don't know what. Spin it off some kind of way. Listen. Xbox has always been about the games. It was never really about the hardware. If they would have made fucking Gears of War a multiplat back in the day, that motherfucker would have sold like hotcakes, just like it did on Xbox. Like, and I think that's Microsoft's strategy going forward.
I think they're just gonna ride it out for these next couple of years, and they'll probably make another console after that. Who knows? They got a couple interesting games that I'm interested in, like Indiana Jones, Stalker 2, and they got a couple games. But yeah, honestly, at this point, Microsoft brought this on themselves. So
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Why don't they just say, hey, listen, guys, we're just gonna put our games on Steam, Epic Store, Xbox is just really, at this point in time, it's just about the games.
Because at this point, since they entertained, them 4 games, now people are like, well, I'm gonna just wait for that PlayStation version though.
Yep.
Just do that.
Absolutely. Why not?
And they're trying to keep as many Game Pass subscribers as they can while they transition until they get to that, point that whatever point they need to get to.
Yeah.
They gotta have the games ready for
the
next steps.
Look, why aren't the games ready? They have over 50 some studios. Why aren't the games ready?
Well, I'm saying get ready for PlayStation.
Oh my. Oh well, we know that, but I'm saying even with Xbox. I don't care if it's
in 2018 they started buying shit, and we were told in 4 or 5 years we'll see shit, and we haven't seen shit yet.
I think they're holding them in the clip.
Sarah Bond told us last summer, Levon, when Sarah Bond came out and said these are the games these are the 12 games you're gonna be playing the next 12 months.
And they only delivered on one.
And they only delivered fucking Redfall, and we still sitting around waiting for the rest of them shits. Like, where are all these fucking games? Matter of fact,
where's Starfield DLC and shit? You know what I mean? It should have been out by now. Fucking,
Okay, where is the other games though? Where's we can say Everwild. Where is some of the other games that it was a lot of games that they showed back then and none of them shits released. Yeah.
What about the Initiative? They've been working on that for how many years?
Yep.
And we haven't seen shit on that at all, which I don't think it is because of the shit that happened with Crystal Dynamics. They were laying a bunch of people off, and that, it probably affected that too.
Well, okay, they bought ABK. Where's
Fable? You had Fable. You had State of Decay 3?
Where's State of Decay 3? They named it. They told us about these games like 4 years ago.
I'll tell you where they're at. They're all behind smoked glass right now.
Yeah. They're more worried about PS5 because they buy them. That's why.
They're
holding Starfield DLC back because it's going to come on PS5 with the DLC. That's why.
I'm telling you, with some of this shit, they're holding it in the clip. Some of the, because like I said, case by case. Like, look,
and here's the thing. This is the difference between PlayStation and Microsoft when it comes to this gaming shit. Even though, shout out to Safe Hosen, man, appreciate you. Thanks for becoming a new subscriber. Even though Sony's first parties are still cooking and shit like that, they went ahead and partnered with third party and second party people to continue to have games dropping all fucking year round, right? Like, just the sheer amount of games that have come out this year, just within these last 3 months.
In the first quarter, there's been more games in this quarter than any first quarter I've ever seen.
Ever.
It's dead.
Ever. So
I can explain that for Microsoft too.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, think about it. There's even fucking the what was that? The apology podcast that they had to do.
Yep.
They're talking about this big thing that happened. Look, they weren't getting returns, so they gotta fucking like prep these and have them. Remember, these got to be slotted into fucking PlayStation schedule.
Oh shit!
So think about it.
Oh man.
Think about it, because they're gonna have to have more fucking games out there.
You know what?
On their list, so they got.
That's a very valid point.
So
they can't just.
They're holding on to some of these. They're like, okay, which ones to really get the return on our investment, not only on these fucking studios, but like the shit that they just went.
I was bullshitting around though. I was bullshitting around, but I told when Xbox dudes say, "Where's Sony first party games?" and I was like, "They're cooking, but we got your first party games to tide us over until But I mean, it is true. It is true.
Yeah. But it's true the other way around.
And we have them second and third party deals too.
Yeah, Microsoft has to eventually slot their shit in there to maximize their profits. So that could explain.
True. They're not just gonna release that shit like on a weekday at 8 p.m. whatever. Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna do what they did with like Sea of Thieves. They're gonna put a big marketing campaign out on it. They're gonna make a big stink about it and
try and come out by themselves so that they can maximize the sale. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest. This summer showcase and at Jeff Keighley Game Awards show, like
it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be crazy to see
Summer Game Fest
the PlayStation
and the Game
logo under the
interesting this year.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna be sitting around waiting to see a PlayStation logo under that that Microsoft Game Studios. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I agree with you on that, but
it's not gonna happen overnight, but they're always like a fucking few years in the past, so they're planning for shit that's 2 years down the line, 3 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's them trying to play catch up because they took their foot off the gas and now they're behind trying to play catch up, and it's hard to get caught up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and see, Microsoft don't have a studio like Bluepoint and some of the other companies that port games. So the original studios have to make these games for PS5. So maybe that's why they really aren't working on anything new outside of the games that they have.
And that's where Sony was smart getting like Nixxes and studios like that, because they're really good at porting shit to PC. So you can just give them to them and say, go ahead. You know what I mean?
And that's a good thing, because that keeps your first party studio from being tied up with ports.
Yep, doing multi-plat then.
Yeah. So it all makes sense, man. We haven't heard or seen Phil Spencer in ages. I don't know what the fuck going on with that. I know people say
Sarah Bond now.
Yeah,
you're gonna see Sarah Bond now. She's gonna be the face of Xbox. She took over his position. You know what I mean? She's that position now.
I still don't agree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Phil's the only reason the bots are around, it was because of Phil Spencer. They like him. They love him. They're not really beholden to Sarah
but
Bond.
Sooner or later he's gonna retire or whatever. Fuck, he's been there fucking how long? I mean, come on. Now, you know what I mean? Sooner or later. So that might be why this is all going on now, because she's like the one that they've been grooming, because whatever.
Yeah, pause. Yeah, I mean,
but she is a good face for the company. She's not.
She is, but I disagree. I disagree with that though, Heat, because
because of
don't give this lady, and more so this black lady, the position now that the fucking company's going under. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Give it to her when the shit is on top. Don't wait till the shit fails and be like, it's like a pilot being like, hey, guy back there, you said you always wanted to fly an airplane. Come on up here. You can fly it now. We're gonna crash anyway. The fucking steering's busted. Like, don't give it to me
like on Fun with Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey. They put him out to be the face of the company, be the fall guy.
Exactly. You know, and guess what? And then the shit's gonna fail, which it already has, and people are gonna remember. They should have never gave her that position. She, you know, I can hear the bots now. Everything was okay when Phil was in charge.
How did Phil sidestep all that? You know what I mean? Like, they never went at him.
They protected him.
He's held him accountable, or you know what I mean?
He's a made man. He's a made man.
And remember what Tim Dog said too. He talked to him, and Tim Dog told him to be honest, and they just won't. You know what I mean? So there tells you.
Yep. They don't. They're buying their time. Man, what a fucking fall from grace. Let alone them trying to fucking get me to spend another $500 on the Xbox console. Good luck.
Yeah, that ain't never happening again. That's done.
Like, okay, the first time, shame on you, right? The second time, shame on me. The third time, it's like, you fucking idiot. Why?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna bother anymore. I don't think that's even gonna be an option.
Yeah, even the
who else do you think could be a competitor though?
I don't think there is a competitor to. I just think
they don't care about competing. They just want to be there. They don't.
They want to make money. Now listen, here's the thing. They don't care about competing. They just want to make money.
Yeah, they just want to make money.
Because they have $100 billion worth of publishers, they're gonna make a shitload of money.
I'm talking about like other companies like an Amazon, Apple. Like, do you see any of those?
to come in and try to take this? Yeah. I think Apple, and I'm gonna be honest.
Could be. Amazon too. They're not fucking around.
I think if Apple come in, not only because they have the money, but Apple actually likes quality and talent. They
make good product.
They actually care, right? So unlike Microsoft, their goal is
I don't
100%.
think Google's coming back though anytime soon.
Nobody
would
dare buy. No, I can't say it is. Maybe Google was ahead of its time. Maybe if they would have,
it'll take time. It'll take time for the technology to get better and the infrastructure to get better and all that. You know what I mean?
Because like, the future that these bots were talking about with the whole streaming shit and the future that whole utopia, dude, that's like 20 years into the future. We're nowhere near that. For you to just have a fucking, I don't know. I just don't see it. Google tried; they were the closest to do it, and they had the controller. And it worked well. It worked really good. I never had any problems with it. They just felt it's the lack of games. They just really didn't have the games like that.
And with gamers, you can't force it. It has to be natural. Because when you try and force it, gamers will be like, "Fuck you! I don't want it."
Yep. Look what Sony did with the PlayStation Portal, right? They could have forced it. I think this was just their test run into seeing was there some interest in another handheld, and sure enough, the PlayStation Portal was the number 3 device, the number 3rd device with the DualSense Edge being like number 1. So they, sometimes what I just don't understand is Sony don't have a fraction of the money that Microsoft have, but Microsoft is fucking doing just so fucking poorly when it comes to gaming. They're just making all the wrong fucking decisions. They're changing every week what their strategy is and what they want to do and where they want to be and all kind of bullshit.
No, they're changing the strategy that they're telling us. They know what they're doing, but they won't just come out and say it.
Absolutely. You're right. Compost Smurf said consumers will dictate the market and support the quality. Not bullshit. That's true. I keep telling Pastor Joe Nam that gamers have spoken. Gamers speak with their wallets. You can tell me this is great and that is great and everything is fine, but what did the gamers say?
Oh, what did Microsoft say? Too. They basically just came out and said it wasn't sustainable.
Yep.
They'd have to fucking put games on PlayStation. I mean,
Yep.
even the way it came out, it was like something happened.
They were like, guys, you know,
guys, something happened.
We have to,
Due to unforeseen circumstances, we got to
do
this.
It was definitely somber. It was definitely somber. It wasn't a, hey guys, it was a very somber event. I wish I had the video on my computer right now because I definitely play it. But it was like and I'm gonna be honest. Somebody told me this. I don't know how true it is, but it's possible that somebody, when they were vetting Activision Blizzard, they didn't do their financial due diligence, and the money that Bobby Kotick and all of those guys saying that they were making off of X, Y, and Z, that turned out to be bullshit. But it was too late. They couldn't renege on the deal because they had already been delaying the shit for so long. They didn't want to have to spend $3 billion and give Bobby Kotick $3 billion for free, right? So they had no choice but to move forward with the deal. But when they got the deal and Microsoft finance team went in, they looked at the books and saw this shit wasn't sustainable, and there was no way, they lied, and basically, it is what it is. So.
Because listen, COD sales have been declining the past 5 years, year over year, compared to what the previous one, because they've been pulling that bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, it made it seem like they're pointing to like this event that happened, like a fucking comet hit Microsoft or something, but they're not gonna say exactly what it was. And we have to do this to like, it's like this is our only hope to survive, kind of thing. It's just very strange. But
Darkling, my brother, he said, "Yo, what up, Jay?" He said, "Getting a steak before I go see Cat Williams." Salute to you, brother. Man, that steak sounds about good, man. I might do the same. Hope that Cat.
Yeah, and going to see Cat. Cat's fucking awesome.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go see the movie. I don't know if it's gonna be tonight or tomorrow, but it's called Civil War.
Oh, I only heard about it.
Oh yeah, that's them.
I heard it got really good reviews. So I mean, I'll see.
Yeah.
So
hopefully nobody self-immolates outside of that.
I know. Hey, I know Rhea's gonna be there.
That's not funny. It's not funny.
Man. We need to check on my brother Rhea's, man. Yeah.
We all knew this would happen. Don't stop comparing yourself to Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. You won't get these fucking weirdos out there. All right.
You ain't shit, Buck. You ain't shit. Oh,
I mean,
man.
it kind of does happen. Like
that is the truth.
Or even making reference to it, even if you're not like look at John Lennon, because of that Beatles comment. He said, "Fucking
got shot.
He got capped. He wasn't even comparing himself, but he just did it and then some fucking schizophrenic out there fucking is like,
Listen, this country is not just this country.
Is my point.
This world is filled with a bunch of loons, and so you just don't know, man. So, I know we
when you got a Messiah complex.
Exactly. Now, granted, we've had our fair share of death threats and stuff just from the console war shit. We've had our share of weirdos, but once you start adding politics and religion into shit, it goes left real quick. Yeah. And this guy went and he wrote a manifesto and set himself on fire outside the Trump courthouse. So
I haven't looked into it. You basically told me the news.
Well, nobody can. I mean,
that's
like
my automatic assumption is that it's because I felt that this would have happened eventually anyway because of the Messiah thing and the fucking.
Hey y'all, give me one more like, man. I got 99 likes. Go ahead and give me to that that whole 100. That whole 100.
I don't know exactly what this guy was thinking, but I'm sure he was off his rocker.
He was probably sane. He was just probably the. Just the guy that wanted attention.
Was that Marine recently that did that shit too?
Yeah, that shit crazy, man. Yeah. But I mean, I will say this: I've always had this mentality that if a person is willing to, crack, like even back like in World War II days, like you had the kamikazes, like they really believed in what they were doing. They were willing to go to the end, you know, and even like a lot of suicide bombers and people that do this stuff for their religion and politics and stuff. These guys are dedicated to that stuff. That, like, do you know how, I'm not gonna say mind fucked, but you know how dedicated a person have to do to set themselves on fire or to blow themselves, like that mentally, that like, how do you get someone to like that's
programming usually?
Yeah, but I mean, you know how programmed you would have to do for that to happen. Like, how would a person convince me not being here anymore and going out that gruesome type of way would be the way to go? You know, God forbid, but when I die, I want to be an old ass fucking
control.
I want to be an old man, and I want to be ready to go. I want to be like, listen, I've fucking seen enough of this piece of shit. I want to see what's next. I'm ready to go. I want to be like that. I don't want to fucking end up with a fucking my body ripped apart or fucking in ashes because I did some fucking stupid trying to follow a politician or some fucking 1,000-year-old book or drinking some fucking Kool-Aid or some shit, you know?
People can fall down that rabbit hole, though. You know?
No, absolutely.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be like some death cult or some Jim Jones thing. It's just you go down that rabbit hole of you're just plugged in so deep and you get so heavily invested in the social media and the news.
Yeah, some people are searching for that shit.
And and you fall into that shit, and then so.
Well, I still think it goes back to mental health. You know, some people are just unsatisfied in their lives in the world. And some people are just looking. You know, do
you remember J-Dub? There used to be mental institutions where these people were put. And now they're just walking the streets or put in jail or whatever.
It's a crisis right now. It's a crisis. With not only post-COVID that I've noticed just in like my neighborhood with just people you see, but that's a problem with vets right now.
Oh, absolutely.
We treat our vets. That's why I hate. I hate the fucking hypocrisy from people about patriotism when we have this fucking problem. Like, all the mentally ill people out there, basically, they're from fucking these wars that we fucking had.
They don't take care of us now. You know what I mean? They don't take care of any of us. They don't give a fuck.
Well, you get the sense, what it is we desensitize the troops, and then when they come back to civilian, there's not a way you can resensitize them. You know, once you just end up with a person that's desensitized, and you have to be desensitized to go to war to be able to kill and do some of the stuff that they do. You have to be desensitized. So, but when you come back to the civilian population, they just drop you back in and say, "Hey, good luck." And it's like, wait, you know, I have no feelings towards my wife, my kids, society, or anything, nothing else. Like, stuff that's natural and normal, that's not in me anymore. Like, what the fuck?
Unless you're lucky enough, you get the treatment. You're like,
well, and there's really no treatment for it, right? It's I think
you can there's therapies for post.
Well,
some of it,
there's therapy, but
believe it or not, for PTSD, they're starting to use ketamine and stuff and mushrooms and shit like that, and it's actually working really well.
It's still
surprising how well it's working.
That stuff is still
most
just
people
masking.
aren't. They're self-medicating. They're just self-medicating.
Yeah, it's just masking. It's just masking the problem. You're not fixing it. Giving me meds is not fixing anything. It's just masking the problem. The problem was you desensitized me to have feelings and to have X, Y, and Z in normal communication.
Yeah, but
now I don't have that.
No, the ketamine, what they're doing now is this intensive therapy program that they do, and it actually has a really good success rate of helping guys who have really traumatic PTSD experiences and can't function day to day and shit, and it makes them a lot better. They've been making a lot of strides with that.
I just brought up the therapy because like it's only the guys that can afford it anyway. Like David Grush recently, the whistleblower, the fucking with the back engineer stuff. He's a fucking intelligence officer and a fucking corporal and shit. So he got treatment. With the therapies and that kind of shit. But
shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. He said, "I want to say thanks to Heath for being a war hero."
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So
that's what we do.
War declared.
Absolutely. My you know, I never been to the military, but my wife's a veteran. She's an 11-year veteran. Went to Enduring Freedom and Afghanistan and Iraq, basically.
Yeah.
And you know, even with that, dealing with, you know, some stuff like that, you know, it was just a lot of stuff, man, and it's just tough. And they dump you back on there, and then you got to fight for benefits and shit. It's bullshit. And then they wonder why the enlistment is so low and why people don't want to fucking, like, why? They've seen the predecessors, right? You've seen the predecessors,
and their uncles tell them don't do it. Their uncles and aunts that spent time in there.
You know how many of my uncles went to Vietnam or whatever, and they're fucking shell shocked and got the worst treatment when it comes to healthcare and everything else. Like, why would I want to end up like that?
It's not only a stigmatized mental health period, but they just expect military to, like, I don't know, kind of like tough it out. But then also there's stigma against types or what kind of service you did. So then they just kind of look at you like, well, you weren't on the fucking actual battlefield. You were an intelligence officer, or you flew a jet. So you're not. It's not the same thing as a guy that was in fucking.
It's like my wife. She had to
they can all have PT.
operate on. She was part of a mine clearing unit in the engineering unit, right? And shit, I mean, literally, she fucking had to help operating shit on some of her friends and people that were there, and that shit is traumatizing for, you know, especially for a woman. But then, you know, fucking seeing your friends get their fucking legs blown off, and everywhere she, you know, would walk when we first met or whatever, she would look down everywhere. She would, you know, everywhere she stepped, she would always look down. And it's
just
like,
out of habit.
Why are you walking with your head down all the time? It was the habit. If you didn't do that when you were over there in the Middle East, you were fucking dead, right? And well, now you're back in civilian population, you don't have to do that, but those habits are there, and they're hard habits to have, right? Even just crying. She
didn't even realize she was
not being able to cry.
Second nature at that point.
Exactly. For a woman not being able to cry, or some of those emotions, like, that's what I say. Some stuff, there's no medicine that can do that. Like, you've been desensitized from it. It's hard to input that stuff in you, because that stuff was given to you by birth and over time and everything else from your parents and just growing up. It's crazy, man. And, you know.
Yeah, it takes a lifetime sometimes to get over that shit. Some people don't. Some people do. Just, you know, some people, just the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But we all have those uncles, man, that been to Vietnam, and we saw, you know, we call them just the crazy uncle or whatever, but it was a real deal. It was a real thing. And you know, so yeah, so it's just, that's just the way the world is now. And then so now, you know, like what me and Buck was talking about earlier, we found out this guy freaking set himself on fire in front of the whole Trump trial thing, and it's like, here we go. And
that's just crazy.
Like, you
know what I'm waiting for, J-Dub? I'm waiting for them to turn on him, because you know it's just a matter of time before he's going to do something they don't like, and then they're going to turn on him.
Or some kind of have over the fucking vaccination shit.
Well, yeah, because he signed off on that shit.
He's got some nutters out there that are saying, you know, fucking what's his name was saying some almost assassination shit. What's that fucking guy?
Yeah,
disgraced fucking military guy. What the fuck was his name? General something, I forget. That nutter's out there.
The Petraeus or some.
I don't know. It was the other one. The one who fucked up in Afghanistan, Flynn. He never got charged. Yeah, that piece of shit.
Yeah, I was
like, he's always saying like crazy shit about Trump. Like,
hey, if you ever look into Flynn, it'll piss you off that they didn't throw him in jail, because he gave away our position to the enemy over there. He should have been shot on the battlefield.
Well, you got to realize he's being used as a political pawn.
He's fucking connected. He's connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's cute. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's for sure. Somebody said he's
been live.
Yeah, that was one of the theories that he was Q.
Probably is. One of those guys. But yeah, so there's definitely people that are But yeah,
I just can't wait to see this Summer Game Fest to see what's coming in the back half, and then to see what happens at, the Game Awards and shit. Because if it's been this crazy the first quarter, God, the rest of the year is going to be fucking nuts, man. With all the gaming
it's
shit,
definitely going to be
all
interesting
these games, 30
to see
FPS
what these companies show for June and the next couple of months. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, because think about it, and especially from PlayStation, we should be starting to see shit from them because, they have multiple teams working on shit, and we know certain things, but there's other games we have no clue. Like Santa Monica, we have no, you know what I mean? There's so many studios.
Yeah, definitely, and Nintendo as well.
Like Days Gone, the Days Gone devs, they have to have something ready by now. It has to be closed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's so many teams that are so close because we know Ghost of Tsushima 2 is probably next year sometime. You know what I mean? So that's a give.
Yeah.
And Nintendo as well with their upcoming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Because Switch 2, because they're holding their shit back for the Switch 2. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
A new Mario Kart, a new Mario game. You know what I mean? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, guys, got any other topics before we get out of here?
I got something to promote. I do a podcast, actually. I do, with Ricky Brown.
Oh,
and in the Ricky Brown Town, channel, that's what it's called. I do, the arcade, which is in the Save Point, which are gaming podcasts. And we also do the Watchtowers, where we talk about movies, TV, and things like that. So I'm going to send you guys the link to subscribe to Ricky Brown Town's channel right here. So,
oh, man. Yeah. Levon came over here to steal some of my followers, man. What are we doing here, Levon? Hey, oh, man.
Here's the link.
Hey, Ricky Brown owe me about $30, man. Tell him that promo ain't free over here, man. Oh, man. I'm gonna let it slide this time, Levon. God damn, bro, trying to poach my followers. Don't y'all go over there? Nah, I'm just playing. y'all go check out Ricky Brown, man. You're gonna be over there, start screaming and stuff and talking about PSVR 2, but yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I'll go over there and check them out. Drop the link in the chat, Levon.
Okay.
Yeah. I better see a link to my channel posted over there too. Or else we riding. Me and Buck gonna show up with the ski mask and the baseball bats. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they said pause. He said, bro said Ricky Pound Town. Yeah. Pound Town Ricky. Y'all go over there with Pound Town Ricky and them if y'all want to. Go ahead. Ski.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna tell Ricky he gonna change the name of that.
Everybody have a good weekend too.
Definitely. I'm gonna try to get a lot of gaming in and Hey, listen, man. I haven't heard from Z. You heard from Z today, Buck? Yeah. Well, whenever we hear from Z, we gonna tell him y'all don't miss him. And y'all hope nothing but the worst of luck to him, as he would tell y'all. Anyway, we finna get ready to get out of here. Thank the panel for coming out, man. Of course, Buck, my right hand man, Heat, my left hand man, and Levon. Even though he came over here to solicit getting views and stuff from other people's stuff, but it's okay. Y'all go in. Hey, Levon, what about your personal channel, man? You know what I'm saying? You gonna advertise that?
I think everybody's already subscribed to
Yeah,
but I mean, maybe I'm just saying it may be some new people in here that haven't subscribed to it.
I've been doing shorts. That's what I've been doing.
Okay,
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
What would you rather have, PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3? Stuff like that, and
yeah. Well, as you should, man. As you should. Hey, the Compost Murph says Z need to answer for his war crimes. He trained a lot of these Xbox back in the day. Big facts, man. Hey, we need to have a podcast where we just roast Z. He birthed all these dudes. He got them all on this damage control stuff, man. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Z kind of a little bit out of it because the console war is over. We had a good run.
How long has it been for the console war? Like 10 years?
Shit, since I'm gonna be honest, I came on the whole console war scene since 2013. Before that, I didn't really dabble online like that, but.
Oh, you weren't in the forums?
Nah, I didn't really get active till about 2016. That's when I created this channel and stuff like that.
So the last generation, last year.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, that's really what it is. And shit, in 2016 they say, hey, pick a side. I chose the PlayStation Nation and been riding for it ever since, man. But you don't have to be a smart man to know who's going to win and lose, right? It's all about the games. Whoever had the better games. And we're still sitting here a generation later waiting for Xbox to get some games after they done spent $100 billion. Sony don't have nowhere near their money, and they out here not only buying games and studios, but they're dropping games, and they're still partnering with third party and second party and buying movie studios and giving us handhelds and VR and all kind of other shit. I just
experimenting. They're trying all sorts of stuff, man.
Yeah, but guess what? All of that shit evolves around the PlayStation, the console, right? None of what Microsoft stuff is doing, none of what they're doing evolves around the console. That's why the console is going away, right? So and I'm a console gamer at heart. Yeah, I got a PC and everything else, but I'm a console gamer. I'm a couch gamer. I'm not finna go here and boot up my PC and then all of a sudden start claiming it and claiming victory and shit like that. That's goofy shit, Stand by your console and rock with it and till the wheels fall off.
Or just console gaming and in general.
Yeah.
You want everything to become one thing.
Yeah.
Got options.
Yep. I should have known all that Xbox kumbaya talk. Xbox is PC and Nintendo. We think of PlayStation and Nintendo as part of our ecosystem. All that shit. That's fucking defeatist attitude is fucking crazy.
That's straight up third party multi-platform. It's exactly what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, saying that smelled fishy was like met with a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
It's like, but
yeah.
So anyway, you remember when that Tim Stewart interview came out? That's whenever they all.
Oh yeah, but you know what? They still tried to hold the line with that. Oh, Tim Stewart, he don't know what he's talking about. Well, he's the fucking CFO. He's the guy. He signs the fucking check. He's the money guy. What do you mean he don't know what he's talking about?
But J-Dub, it's nothing new. It's all about the case by case.
Right.
Case by case basis. Yep. Okay, and it's still case by case basis, right?
4 turned to 5, and 5 finna turn to 20. Or you're gonna see real quick. But yeah. Anyway, man, we're about to get out of here. Thank you guys for coming out to rock out with us as usual.
Pastor too. Even though you kicked him out.
Yeah, I had to kick Pastor out, man. He started to bring, the voodoo over here. Now, listen, the console war is over. I'm not finna argue with, let me not say the R word. I don't want to get canceled, but I ain't finna argue with people. He started attacking us and stuff like that. No, I gotta protect the panel. You know what I'm saying? I can't have, people trying to set my folks on fire back here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna let Pastor rock out where he rock out, and we gonna do what we do. Anyway, y'all take it easy. Paul G, True Virgil, Come Paul Smurf, A Run, my brother J Dog, all y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'll probably do another stream tomorrow, man. I'm trying to do another stream tomorrow.
I'll be around tomorrow.
Y'all, all right, cool. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Yeah.